Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Oh, I don't know. Lloyd is getting into my head now with these choices. I absolutely adore that song. And you know what? It's a dedication to all of the Morning Connection listeners who are showing themselves to be the kind of people who will find themselves in that place that is up there. I know we'll have conversations about the up there part of it. But good morning, and thank you to those who have already joined us online and those of you who have joined us on air. We bless you for remembering us and for choosing to spend the early morning hours with us. Good morning to those in studio, especially the engineer who is going on with some bad things with the music selection. Mr. Producer, good morning. Have you got over your celebrations with Marcus Garvey?
Good morning. Yes.
Good
Oh, well.
morning. Yes, we're all excited. We went to the meet and greet for the inaugural week of celebrating Marcus Garvey, our first national hero. It was such a great pleasure. I know we're going to spend some time sharing with you on what's happening. Um, hmm, really a phenomenal experience being in that room with persons who were so committed to the same principles, the same philosophies. And as I observed this morning, I reflected on it. Not one single government person in the room. And oddly enough, that made it all the more special because it certainly tells me that Jamaicans can do wonderful things. The people can do wonderful things all on our own. We don't need to have a certain kind of endorsement or stamp of approval. And it is so in keeping with the spirit of Marcus Garvey. That just really, really got me. So, morning again to all of you. We know that you have a choice what you can listen to and how you spend your time. And we are very grateful and appreciative of the choice you make when you tune in to Best 100 FM. What is that ancient piece of equipment you've just picked up? Is it going to be?
Ancient.
It's not ancient? Oh,
Sir.
I am so accustomed to seeing technology devices getting smaller and smaller that when something fill up your hand, I think it's old. But that might be some ignorance on my part. All right, Pastor Percival, good morning to you. I know you're on your way because you're feeling so much better and you're coming to spend time with your Morning Connection family. But until you get here, we're keeping the chair warm for you. Mr. Producer, you have to make up for Pastor now. And at this point, you would have given me at least two scriptures. So maybe you're gonna sing, whatever you're going to do to show some love to the people this morning. We do have a lot of ground to cover. So much has happened. We spent yesterday going through all the happenings as reflected in the Sunday Gleaner, the weekend news coverage. Especially, we were looking at the results of those polls, and the results are still coming in because this morning attention has been given to how we feel about the paramilitary troops. They are in occupation of the streets of Montego Bay right now. Yay! A much slimmer looking pastor has just entered. Yeah, they're in the streets, and citizens have voted to say, what is their level of confidence and what does it mean that only 6% of Jamaicans have a lot of confidence in the police. The army is doing a little bit better, 25% have a lot of confidence. But for both, 49% have only a little confidence in the soldiers, and 47% have a little confidence in the police. So the police is doing worse than the soldiers in terms of the confidence rating altogether. That's because we know them better, I suppose. Isn't it weird? The more you know a thing is, the more you should understand it and perhaps even like it. But in this case, it seems to work in the opposite direction. So we're going to talk about that. Morning, Delroy Henry. Let's see. He says, as coal is revived by incense, so prayer revives the hope of the heart. Nothing is impossible when God is on your side. One love. And greetings to Conrad, too. These guys always say something early in the morning to join in the greetings. They are as family can be. All right, time for the 6:30 break. When we come back, Pastor will catch us up with something and tell us how he spent his very exciting day yesterday. Stay with us, please. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Best 100 People Are You Listening?
If you choose to remain at home after an evacuation order has been issued, you do so at your own risk.
Get down, get down! Heed the warning!
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, away I do I take taxi style?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose a problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, senior.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back to the Morning Connection. Pastor Percival, welcome to your lovely self.
Morning. Welcome, viewers. Good morning. How are you? I trust.
We're fine.
I'm very good. I'm very good. I won't tell you what happened to me, but I'm very good. I told people, I know everybody, so what are you talking about? But anyway, it's one of those things that happened to you in this walk, I believe.
I thought it was a run.
And, in this walk, this walk of faith with the Lord. It's been very interesting day yesterday. I went down to Matches Lane yesterday.
What lane?
Yeah.
Matches Lane, the one that have sulfur on the head.
Yes, yeah. Matches Lane, that we say, boy, there are Matches Lane, you can't go down there. I went down to Matches Lane yesterday. Been there.
Saw the
I've
factory?
not been there in a long time. Yes, saw the factory.
You saw the matches factory?
No, there's...
That burned up a long time?
Yes, that's been burnt a long time.
Enough with the punning.
Yeah, but it
very punny this morning.
It just yesterday was interesting. Thank God, doctor gave me a clean bill of health. He says my system had dealt with it in the major part of it. So I'm grateful for that. But it was an interest in terms of what people are thinking about.
You mean the report? Report yesterday. It was on Sunday that they did.
The survey.
Mm-hmm. They reported on the lack of confidence.
Yeah. And the people just have said, we are gonna go on with our lives. We are gonna do what we need to do to survive because we do not believe the government has our best interest at heart. And when
some
the
might
people
even
of
say
a
the
country,
government don't have a heart.
Well,
which is why.
And then somebody sent me something from my past, and I said, "Who this?" So I called the person. The person identified himself.
All right. Is someone from your past who sent you something? Or they sent you something from your past? Which is it?
Somebody from my past.
Because I'm ready to give you a caution.
Somebody from my past
Sent you something.
Sent me something.
All right, that sounds clean.
And I said, who is this? And the person identified themselves. It was somebody who was a colleague of mine at the first job that I had. And they were involved in the sugar industry. Mm-hmm. And they are now involved in farming. I said, okay, great. You are now doing what a lot of people are saying, that the food security and agriculture is the goal of our present time in terms of what we are seeing on the national and international scene, in terms of people talking about the coming famine and all of what has happened as a result of COVID. Mm-hmm. But the person gave me an insight into something that we've been talking about in terms of the sugar lands and using good arable sugar lands to build houses. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying, really? So they previously had leased land from the government. The government moved them and gave them another piece of land, all in favor of this SCJ divestment. You know that big thing that they've been talking about? I said, okay, this is where this is going. People are actively doing farming on these lands. They're moving them and putting them somewhere else.
So they're doing farming on the sugar land, or they're doing...
They're doing farming on the previous sugar lands. So they have moved them to another plot and said, we are doing this new big project for housing, and
you're reporting on a good thing, bad thing. The government they did a good thing trying to.
I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. It's just I found it interesting that here was somebody who was directly affected by what is happening in Bernard Lodge and the divestment of the lands.
So positive effect or negative effect?
I think it's negative, because if you are farming,
how did they see it?
Negatively.
They saw, okay, but they took the land and they're farming it.
And they're farming, but it is in a place that there's hardly any water and so on. But anyway, that's how it goes. I'm saying.
I was just probing it with you because we're constantly talking about the ways in which we can show our resistance to the decisions that are being made that are unfavorable in the overall. Sometimes, even if it may feel like, and most times it's going to be sacrificial, you have to say, no, I'm not going to participate in it. Not knocking your friend for, making a practical decision, but we live by those decisions. When you're asked to do something and you say, well, if I'm not doing it, I'm going to lose my job. Sometimes I have to lose the job.
Right, sister. And that is where the real rub is there for.
Yeah, it's where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah, the real rub is for people. They have to make decisions. Yeah. I guess, and
some of them tough
decisions. Yeah. It is a reflection of Daniel 3 and what unfolded in terms of those three young men recently promoted to high positions after they've gone through their first test in terms of their faith. And then Nebuchadnezzar says to everybody, okay, now I want everything from you. I want your worship, who you are. And they made a declaration in Daniel 3 and verse 26. Says, King, we're not being disrespectful to you, King.
Even though they always said, oh, King, live forever.
Yeah, but... Yeah.
Kind of like that greeting. Percy, live forever.
Yeah, saying, we understand your position. But this is our position.
You got to stand for something.
Yeah.
I don't really...
Yeah, this is our position. And ultimately, with what is happening in our present time and circumstance, your worship is everything that you are now. Think of it only when you go to church on a Sunday morning. That is worship. But we have discovered that worship really is everything that you are. Your work, everything.
Work and worship
are the same in terms of the original languages. And it says, we understand your position, but our simple position is and continues to be, we know that our God is so powerful that he can deliver us. But even if he does not deliver us, we will not bow. And that now continues to be the...
You know, each time I reflect on that scripture, what catches my attention is that Daniel and others said, even if he chooses not to deliver us. It's not like when you are in a tough situation and you cry out for divine assistance of a particular sort and you don't get that particular assistance. It is not that God didn't hear you or, you know, he heard but not right now, or, you know, one of those, the kind of human response that you might get when you have a situation of great need and you make an appeal and you're ignored, or you're told that the resources are not sufficient to cover you. It's not that kind of situation. The Hebrew boys knew that God might choose not to deliver them from the particular danger, because sometimes it really is necessary for us to endure certain things, not necessarily as punishment, but there are times when your neighbor is who need to see this thing playing out. And so God may choose to leave you there knowing that his grace is sufficient to carry you through that particular situation. And what one of the things that I have come to realize is that the value we place on the continued survival of the flesh that covers our body and carries our soul, that's just our vanity. It really is, because our fleshly covering is temporary. The truth is, all the things that you can see are temporary. Things that are visible to the eyes are temporary. If you're going to quantum physics, which every now and then I ask a question about the Higgs boson principle in quantum physics, which is a principle that really says what you see is an illusion that is held together. It's particles holding together under certain frequency. And if the frequency changes, those particles would fly apart and you would become invisible. It's the ghost principle in quantum physics.
Called the ghost principle. It is a God principle that holds everything together. Really, yes, that's what it is. You call it the ghost. It's the God principle.
No, the scientists call it the ghost. Because now you see me, now you don't. And you can see a thing on one plane and you're seeing it in a one-dimensional frame, meaning you could put your hand through it. It does not have density because, you know, there are other dimensions to reality. One of them is density, that something can be impermeable to touch. You touch it, your finger don't sink into it. Some things, everything
happens different. To change, you can move through it.
And if the frequency changes, you move through it. And that is why we are satisfied that teleportation is a scientific reality.
But we know that.
Yeah.
We know that. We understand that. Philip was, I believe, teleported from one place to another.
Yes.
And I've heard actual people say to me, I remember a gentleman came and he was saying that he was late for an event. And it was, so he was in Kingston, and to get from Kingston to Montego Bay, it would take him now with the highway 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And when he was leaving one meeting to go to another, he discovered that he never had enough time. But guess what? He discovered he was in his car, and he reached the other location in time. So like it said, the 2 hours, only another hour, and he was there for the meeting. That is what he reported. I can't say that he never happened.
Challenge it.
I can't challenge it. This is what actually happened. That was his reality. And he shared other such experiences. And I'm saying, okay.
Does he live in Jamaica?
No, he just came to minister at our church.
Okay, because there are some trips I want to take.
Yeah. No, but if you're a Christian, no,
I
but
would love to hit that frequency.
No, but if you're a believer,
yes,
based on what he was saying, it is possible for you to do that. And I'm saying, and I'm believing that in this time, days that we're living, it's going to become a reality.
More of it.
It's going to become a reality for individuals.
One of the thing that I've experienced a lot is I need to be in a particular meeting or discussion, and I'm at one place delayed by whatever is happening there, and when I work myself free to get to the other meeting, it's just starting. Mm-hmm. I mean, that happens all the time. It's as if everything else over here slows down so that you can extricate yourself and be on time. And there's sometimes you can actually predict it. You'll say, okay, I know this ought to start at 11. And when you get there at 12, the people are just starting. And there's no rational explanation except that everything they were doing slowed down. And by the time you got there, some of these things we apply logic to it and say, oh, well, it takes half an hour for people to settle down and some of it is your logical mind will find ways to explain it. But there are some things which you just don't have enough computing capacity in operation to explain it.
I say to people, I do believe in my time, in terms of the reality that I'll face, that I'll do a lot of Phillips. Philip the Evangelist, he was in one place preaching, and the next time he was caught up to the carriage of the chariot of the Ethiopian eunuch, and that is what planted Christianity in Kush or Ethiopia, when you want to call it. Yeah.
I had some Ethiopian bread last night.
Oh, wow. Oh, jeez.
You used to ask me where. Come on.
Where we had Ethiopian bread. I know where.
All right.
Katish.
No, but Katish, if you're listening, just know that Pastor is still waiting to enjoy some more of your food. But she did tell you where,
No, she did?
Yeah, she did. She said, she told us the restaurant where they're catering. We got to get the information so we can share it properly. But I do want to tell you a little bit about what is happening for this inaugural week of celebrations for Marcus Garvey. That's where I went to the meet and greet at the marketplace.
Constant Spring Road?
Yeah, it's called Mecca, MECA. What's the E? It's all about cultural arts. Marketplace, something for the cultural arts.
And where is that?
In Marketplace.
Oh, it's in the Marketplace on Constant Spring Road. Interesting.
Yes. If we're able to get it settled, Rosie Murray, who's the organizer, will spend some time with us on Thursday morning, just recapping what they've done for the week and what's going to happen on Thursday.
You mean Rosie Murray, the famous actress?
The famous Rosie Murray of the beautiful voice and spirit.
She's just so funny and so good. Yeah.
So
but
a lot is happening this week. I met Dr. Julius Garvey.
Okay.
Right.
That's his son.
The Morning Connection. Well, let me rally back. Best at 100 FM was invited to participate, and yours truly was deputized by Mr. Shaw.
Okay. Good morning, Brother Tony. How are you today?
It was his birthday. Did you listen to us any at all yesterday?
At intervals. I heard when our famous economics man came on a different.
Oh, so you didn't know that we played music for Tony?
I heard it. I saw it. I was in the chat. You never saw me in the chat.
No, you're in the chat?
Yes, that's per change.
Oh, I forgot. I'm like, who's that per change coming in so late at the end of the show?
I was there earlier listening and thing, yeah.
Yes, that's true. Right, so we were celebrating with Tony, and of course, Tony had a very big weekend, but not to talk his business. He'll have to tell you himself. That's the listeners. He'll have to tell the listeners himself if we could ever get Tony to come on and chat with us on air.
Brother Tony.
Right, so, Lowell, myself, and Tony made a showing at the meet and greet.
Okay.
I gave greetings from our Morning Connection listeners because so many times the name Marcus Garvey is spoken. To the listener who is always saying Garveyism should be taught in school, yes, there is a program. More to be done, but it is underway, and Rosie will give us an insight into how much is being done. There is a Garvey TV. Did you know that?
No.
Michael Dawson, good morning to you, Mr. Dawson. Tremendous work you're doing. Listen, there is such a bundle of energy behind all things Garvey under the control of his son. Mr. Dawson is at the forefront of it. There's a group of companies called Whirlwind.
Name what?
Whirlwind. The Whirlwind? Like what took my father, that took Elijah and the Whirlwind. Right. So there's a group of company called Whirlwind, which pulls its name from Marcus Garvey's a quotation that is recorded from his letter, the first letter from prison, in which he said, he prophesied that in death he would be a terror and we would find him in the whirlwind. And let me find it, because I was fascinated. Whirl, WHIRL, whirlwind. I know Jamaicans say whirlwind, but it's not whirlwind. You're testing my hit. Oh, you're thinking about it, really, Pastor? You're thinking about it?
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Oh, no. I thought you were thinking about the pronunciation. Why I am so crisp in my elocution. Let me find it. He wrote from prison in Atlanta what was called the first letter. All right, first message to the Negroes of the world from Atlanta prison. Let me tell you, I'm definitely a Garveyite, not in terms of adhering to his beliefs, but in terms of the spirit. This man is in prison, and he used prison as an opportunity.
Paul did that. Paul wrote most of his letters from prison. So
that's the Pauline spirit too, then, if you, yeah. And for my own part, that's how I look at it. As long as you're alive, wherever you land, create your platform and step out from there. So, when he began serving his sentence at Atlanta prison in 1925, he authored his famous paper, First Message to the Negroes of the World from Atlanta prison. You're seeing it? In it he wrote, "After my enemies are satisfied in life or death, I shall come back to you to serve even as I have served before. In life I shall be the same. In death I shall be a terror to the foes of Negro liberty. If death has power, then count on me in death to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a cyclone," he's of course borrowing from Elijah's experience in the mountain after Jezebel had set him to flight. Yes? So now he's in prison, he's in his own cave, because that's where Elijah had taken up refuge. So we picked it up, obviously, what he's saying here. He says, if I may come in an earthquake or a cyclone or plague or pestilence, or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. So the cyclone is the whirlwind. Yes? So they have a group of companies called Whirlwind.
Because remember, one caller keeps calling us and talking about the Black Star Line. I think there's a country in Africa.
Yes, that he says, man, it is there to be purchased and brought home.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But the truth is, if you really, I have in my collection, Garvey, the famous, in one collection, his writings and so on, Garvey collection. Yeah, man. Because I tell you, I was impacted at an early age by Pan-Africanism. With my brother, who is now deceased, bless his name, early. So I was reading that as a teenager. Wow, my Lord. Just reflecting on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
So
it was.
So you're radical from young.
They said being radicalized from a young age.
Yes.
No, but being
I was born a radical. I cannot think of there's no point in time that I could say I felt this way and then I was exposed to something and my position changed. That is my story.
I believe in a very personal way that the message of the kingdom, the message that Jesus Christ came preaching, was a very radical message. It was against the status quo in every way in terms of how we should deal with situations, especially in terms of our relationship, because I believe very strongly that everything we do comes out of the quality and the nature of relationships that we have with each other. And so with all the structures that we put in place, at the heart of those are the quality of the relationships that we have with each other. So if we change those relationships, everything shifts in a jiffy, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. Don't be biblical on you, but I'm glad that they are continuing his legacy in terms of what they're doing, because what he spoke about, he was not racist. I do not believe Marcus Garvey was a racist. I just believe that he was saying to us as people of color, as Africans, that we have a place in the world the same as all the other races. And the important thing is it is now scientifically proven that in terms of our DNA, everything tracks back to us and tracks back to Africa.
First family.
Yes,
the first family. I don't believe he was racist either, but maybe that's revisionist history. He may have expressed himself in ways that caused others to quite reasonably conclude that he was racist.
He was confident in his own skin. So if you're confident in your own skin, what happens is that a person can begin to tremble and will do everything to put you down and to give you all kind of labels.
But I know somebody's gonna call us and speak about racism not being about someone in the abused category, hating the abuser. That's just common sense. Racism comes from the race with power choosing to denigrate the race that lacks power in their time on the field. So clearly Marcus Garvey would not have been racist, but he had separatist ideas, similar to what would give rise to something like apartheid, that you must cling to your own and find strength in your own and build from your own base. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, I think. But to prove your point, his comfort with the Ku Klux Klan, meaning he understood why they felt the way they did.
That's all right. That's all right.
I feel the same way, he said.
I understand what you're feeling. And
yes,
so
I feel the same way. So you want to keep your group over there? No problem. Let me build my group over here, because they're kind of vulnerable and bruised, and they only get more traumatized by constant contact with you. We're going to talk about it a little bit more, because those ideas are still of relevance in today's world, especially in Jamaica. Please stay with us. It's 7 a.m. and we're going to take a station break.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
The business process outsourcing BPO industry is expanding at a rapid pace, with many new facilities being built across the island. Today, we journey to Bloomfield, Manchester, where K&T Development Limited recently broke ground for an 80,000 square foot BPO facility. The announcement of plans to construct the facility was met with excitement, as the impact on the development of the parish is expected to be almost immeasurable.
Well, first of all, I think it's a very, very good opportunity. What it will certainly do is provide a lot of employment opportunities. Quite a number of young persons come to the office on a daily basis, or even when I visit communities in the constituency. I've always seen young people asking for employment opportunities, so this will certainly provide employment opportunities.
Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Crawford. Jamper President Diane Edwards said the spread of BPO companies into rural areas is a good look, as investors will have access to a wide pool of talent who reside outside of Kingston.
The vision for BPO is to take the jobs to the people. We think that Mandeville, as a rural metropolis, has a real opportunity because you have a university, you have tertiary institutions, you have strong high schools, so you have graduates with caliber and quality, and that's what we need in the outsourcing industry. It's not about cost reduction, it's about quality, and if we can deliver the quality and the productivity, which I'm sure Mandeville can, it can attract more people to Mandeville.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Manchester is the perfect place for the facility, as the town has everything that will support the investors' ideas and bring further development to the area.
I understand that the plans involve not just the seats and the center, but you want to make it a campus where people can have their food, their restaurants, you probably have daycare facilities and so forth. So it's a total campus. I like that. I think that's how we should be developing these facilities to make them self-contained and fully functional in the event of any external shocks.
He adds that the government will continue to support persons willing to invest in the development of Jamaica.
This shows an investment. Somebody is taking up their hard-earned money or the bank's money, and they're taking a risk and they are getting something done. At the end of this process, what you see here will be totally transformed. You would have created value in the economy. You would have created opportunities for employment, for other persons to transform their lives.
The new development is a sign that the BPO industry is on a continuous growth path with over 54,000 persons employed in the sector to date. With an increase in construction of new BPO facilities across the island, work is now underway to expand the labor pool. The goal is to ensure Jamaica can expand into other niche areas in the sector. The Prime Minister says as many as 300,000 additional persons could be added to the sector over the long term in job opportunities that go beyond call center operations to incorporate knowledge services which require advanced analytical and technical skills.
And that might involve quite a bit of back office operations in accounting, in reviewing legal documents, reviewing medical documents, booking flights, and then of course there are the high value services of programming and coding and data mining and data operations.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness. I'm Andre Palmer. Thank you for listening.
Calling all thrill seekers! It's the Summer Thrills Adventure!
Climb the world famous Duns River Falls!
Go exploring when you take a hike!
Ride the exhilarating Choco Falls, fly a zip line!
Climb, hike, zip for $5,000!
Say what?
Yep, only $5,000!
Straight!
It's Duns River and Choco Zip Line Summer Thrills!
Summer Thrills promotion ends September 15.
It's a 5-star adventure! Book now at DunsRiverFallsJA.com.
Conditions apply. Follow us on IG at dunsriver.jamaica for further details.
The blood bank is always in need of blood. Give generously. The blood you give today may save your life tomorrow.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Warning, warning. When there is a hurricane warning, button down, tie down, everything. Lift appliances and furniture off the ground and secure your valuable items. If you wanna boat, secure it on land and turn on your yard. If you a fisherman, make sure you turn off every breaker. And before you sleep, turn off your generator. Flooding, that is a real danger. If you live a gully bank, river bank or low line area. If you see flood waters are rising, get out, get out. Heed the warning. If your land starts slipping and a sliding, get out, get out. heed the warning. Hurricanes gonna happen, so be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, away I do I take taxi start.
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose a problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, senior.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try and call him, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Wow, that was a nice long break. I'm not accustomed to almost 10 minutes.
No, 7.
Almost 10 minutes. Anyway, I have kept up for Pastor to give me his views on it. The headline that says, Prime Minister calls for political consensus on crime. And I was asking, and this is my question, do we need a political consensus on crime? We're all agreed that crime is not a political issue, should not become a political football, but do we need a political consensus on crime? And what does that mean? What is it that the Prime Minister wants when he calls for political consensus on crime? And Pastor kicked off the discussion by giving me a story, which he practiced. He did a first run, telling it to me. I've given him some pointers on his storytelling technique. He's going to share it with you because I think it is a very practical way of illuminating this issue. And let give you a hint why Pastor has convinced me that a political consensus on crime is not a necessity for the fight against crime. Let's go. What's your story?
Let's first define what crime is. An action or omission which constitutes an offense and is punishable by law. An action or omission which constitutes an offense and is punishable by law.
Mm-hmm.
So we really don't need a...
You're not going to tell the story.
No, this is something that was recounted to me by somebody who was in the throes of the 1980
Law enforcement?
Yeah, law enforcement. And the person indicated to me that he remembers a policeman who was locking up persons, whether you're a laborite or a socialist. If you are broken the law, it don't matter what is the color of your political leanings. You break the law, so you need to be locked up. And so what happened is that this person, as a law enforcer, used to go to a watering hole, and what happened to him, you know what a watering hole is? Then go up go drink a watering
Days of cowboy and Indian.
go watering hole. And something said to him on the day, don't go there. Don't go there. Do not go there. And he
obeyed.
And one of his colleagues went to the watering hole, and the person was killed. Because some people from outside of the area said, this man creating havoc on both sides. We need to take him out of the way. And he was killed. So in terms of consensus, if somebody broke the law, then broke the law. Just lock them up. Don't matter what their political leanings, you have broken the law. And so therefore you need to deal with the consequences of breaking the law.
And you're really saying you don't require, the sitting prime minister does not require agreement, consent, good favor of his political opponents to move against crime in a determined and effective way.
Yeah.
And you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right. When the prime minister calls for a political consensus on crime, he's really asking the opposition to bless his strategy or to agree with him that this is the way to approach it. What's
He's
the
been elected
purpose
to uphold
of
the law. One of the first things that government must do, they must guarantee the security of their citizens. And that is why there is the law. That is why there is police and soldiers and the courts. Let the law and the persons who are being employed to uphold the law and to enforce it and implement, let them do them work. We hear too many times about political interference. Like, okay, I'm do it. Him just a go. The iPod law going come.
So let's talk about the significance of political consensus. How would political consensus be evident, or what would be the manifestation of it? That the opposition leader and the prime minister collaborate and create a crime plan? What do you think that would look like?
Yeah, I'm just doing a bit of reflector. If
I keep seeing him repeat the words. Like he said, Prime Minister Holder noted in his speech that we haven't been able to get to political consensus.
What is consensus?
Agreement. But when the focus is not on consensus. We know that consensus is agreement. The focus is on political. What does it mean? He wants the PNP to, he wants the opposition to create a crime plan with him, to approve his crime plan. I'm just trying to dive into it to understand what's he really asking for, because certainly it would be more important to have the wider population fall behind the crime plan. But as you rightly say, there should be no apology or permission needed to uphold the law, because all citizens under the covenant are obliged, mandated to uphold the law. So, and if the administration of justice is being run with the right principles of righteousness and justice, none of us should feel hard done by when the law kicks in. So, that being kind of like the foundation of the argument, what exactly would the prime minister be asking for? To me, it's more asking for the opposition to be silent if the plan doesn't work. So how our politics runs on a kind of finger pointing blame game, and whoever you can blame for something lose the vote. So And I noticed it when Mr. Bunting was asked to comment on the lack of confidence that people were expressing. I noticed that he immediately zeroed in on a number of points of failure in the execution of a crime plan.
Has there really been a crime plan?
Well, that's why I gave you saw the air quotes.
Yes, yeah.
So whatever the strategy is, Jamaicans are dissatisfied with its effectiveness. And when asked to comment on the lack of confidence, Mr. Bunting went directly to all those points of failure. You know, we had a CMOC, Crime Monitoring Oversight Committee, that hasn't worked. You said you were going to be able to close our doors, leave our doors open and our windows open or whatever. That didn't work. The promise wasn't kept. He just kept hammering home the points of failure. And so I think when the Prime Minister says, no, you're getting to the heart of it now. When the Prime Minister asks for political consensus, is he saying to the opposition, abandon your job of keeping me on my toes and come over here and do something with me by consensus so that if it fails, me and you fail together?
So it's no longer, because you see,
that's what I'm examining.
Yeah, because
what is it? Because it might look like a good thing just to see the headline, but what is he really asking for?
Yeah, because all right. If you do not trust somebody, then if you're not gonna get consensus. And as you have rightly said, it's so funny that if me and you in consensus and we agree this is it, then when we feel about it, we feel. So that's why I'm saying political consensus.
Yes,
but I'm saying
that's what I'm.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you think about it though, governments have failed in terms of keeping their citizens safe and secure. And this is not a recent occurrence. This is something that has been a theme. If you look at elections, crime always featured in terms of what we're going to do with it. But how I think politically we have failed, we have not, the law is there, but if it is Minette, and Minette is aligned with me, I am not going to enforce the law as it is related. If she's broken the law, she's broken the law. Let it run its course and let us see what happens. But even before she gets to the place of the court, it is dealt with and it don't go to court. And that is a challenge we've had over the years.
Yes.
And people have believed that really there are two laws, independent on who you know, how much money you have. Yes, the rule of law
is not supreme.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't apply equally to all. But you know that we are right in what we're saying here. I'm quoting Mr. Holness again. He says, Mr. Holness said it is hoped that once the political class is confronted with factual data recommendations and conclusions from the Commission, which is an independent body, they would then have to look at it and come to a reasonable understanding as to what we need to implement. Prime Minister noted that reaching an agreement is important in ensuring continuity of policy measures when administrations change. So I am using this platform to say to our counterparts in the opposition, let us create a space in which the treatment of violence is not contested politically and that we share in the victory of overcoming violence. That is going to be a signal achievement for the country, and it doesn't have to be anybody getting political benefit off it, he added. Yesterday, the first caller to get through said he feels that the Prime Minister should apologize before making this call, because he certainly did get political benefit off Mr. Bunting's failure to get a grip on crime when they were in charge of the administration. So that
when
call,
you
I think
said
it
that
was
you can't sleep in your room.
when you with your doors open, windows open. I never really paid that any attention. For one, I don't want any mosquitoes coming in. Crime is the least of your problem. We had dengue and chickpea.
Hello, Mr. Producer.
About.
So the prevention of crime was the mosquitoes coming into your house to give a chickpea and dengue.
And dengue, way more. So I never paid him one man when he was inviting me to do that. All right, but there are some critical points to pull out of what he said. The first thing, he spoke to the political class. He says once that class is confronted with factual data, recommendations, and conclusions, then they must make some reasonable decisions. What's the political class? It's that small handful of
63 plus 21.
There you go. So it's them I talk to. It's their consensus they want. You don't care about yours or mine. And that, of course, is a misunderstanding of even the importance of the issue and the right strategy for addressing it, because the political class is as lost on this issue as everybody else, and they don't have the control or the power that they think they do. And they could just look at the results of that poll, which tells you that if the people lack confidence, you're going nowhere with it. So that's the first thing.
And they don't trust you.
They don't trust you. So no matter what you and the political class want to say about the data and the facts. The second thing he says is about the purpose of reaching an agreement. He mentioned something that is endemic to our way of governance.
And thinking.
He wants to ensure continuity of policy measures when administrations change. That's a confession, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They have a nasty habit of going in and decide to refashion
or
the wheel.
rename it, or give it a different name.
Yes,
I've experienced that.
Everybody wants to make a better mousetrap.
Yes.
Everybody wants to reinvent the wheel because you have your own set of people. That's what they need to stop in everything.
In every single thing. I've been involved in education, and that has happened. Oh, geez.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's a confession about how our governance is structured and maintained that need to stop. It's not just in policing strategy and addressing crime. It's in everything.
In education especially.
Yeah, and have us like a yo-yo.
The question that I asked, why is it that that Hard Trust NTA is under the office of the Prime Minister? It's the biggest ministry in Jamaica and thing. Why not put it back to education?
I'm wondering if he's about to take foreign affairs into his office too.
Are you?
And, well, he might have two problems that's fulminating. Kamina, I mean, I don't know what kind of foreign affairs, diplomacy, international policy maintenance work we can do now with a crippled
Okay.
So we have a situation there. Foreign minister. And then, I mean, look what the situation in Panama is almost with the Jamaicans who were barred from getting on the KLM flight for whatever reason.
Wow.
We have no... What I don't like about it is kind of like the me don't know what to do attitude is like, well, them bigger than we. It's like, I don't know. Citizens of Jamaica have an issue somewhere, and the response you're getting out of our own offices is like,
You serious?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yep. And then the other thing now, back to the Prime Minister's speech, he wants a space in which the treatment of violence is not contested politically. To your point, on the opposition do their job. They know, and he says, let us share in the victory. Clearly, if you're going to share in the victory, you'll also share in the defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Let us share in the victory, but I love the fact that he focused on the victory. But you must know, like in any venture, if you're partners, you share in the loss, you share in the glory.
It's become an albatross around this administration because they came in on a...
That's the horse he rode in.
Yes, I am the knight in shining armor. I'm riding in.
He was our champion to rid us from the scourge of crime and violence, which was taking a stronghold on Jamaica because of the corrupt PNP administration. That was it. Many of us were casualties of that determination. Once they got into power, one of the first things they did was to get into a contest about the carousel issue.
Oh, they did?
Yes, Mr. Dirk, whatever his name was.
Harrison.
Mr. Dirk Harrison
Okay.
At the Contractor General's office had done a report on Carousel recommending that the licenses be revoked. At the time, the Prime Minister took a very bold position on it and said he had conducted a review of the various reviews and he saw nothing wrong with the licenses already issued. Well, that soon took an about face because after they approved the grant of the Spectrum license, them same one turned around and said they had been advised by a foreign government that we were no good.
Okay.
But, this business of poring over what your opponent did and finding it substandard because you're so convinced
that everything they did was wrong.
And
I have been, I've been on the receiving end of something similar, something in education, which there's a concept that was looked at in terms of reaching that risk youth, and we had been a part of it. And when they came in, man, oh Lord, I'm so glad that in implementation, paper, and then found nothing.
Mm-hmm. But they come in.
They come in though, because somebody must thief some money and things.
Yeah, man. So sometimes they come in, they know that there isn't anything there, Mm-hmm. But just the awfulness of the experience will cause you to be way less interested in supporting or playing a part in something that might be contrary to the agenda of the new government. So, I tell you, it's a sure way to kill volunteerism or to deter citizens who have an interest in taking part in certain political activities. You don't want to touch it.
And I will see it happening big time. I think they're taking a blueprint from what's happening in the States now. You can weaponize different departments. You're weaponizing. You are weaponizing.
Well, we had long ago established the Tax Authority of Jamaica as one of the most effective weapons. You don't like a person? Audit him.
Yeah.
I was audited by the Tax Authority during the 2006 campaign for change of government. I played a starring role in some very ugly things which were being played out in the media. And it was made public that I had done some work and received a certain sum of money as consideration for the work. And the minute the government changed, the tax authority was at my door. Maybe like a couple months old baby spent a whole heap of time because I couldn't leave him. And I was going to all these meetings with the auditors, me and my baby. And when the audit was concluded, the sum of money that the government tax authority said I owed them was maybe a few dollars more or less than the sum of money that I had received as payment for the work.
Mm-hmm. So we have to be careful.
So my feeling was they came in to recover a certain sum of money. And no matter which way the audit went, that was the sum of money. The guy who did the audit, I never saw him again. Apparently, he was promoted because I went through a whole set of appeals, and I spent the time to protest it, and I never saw that man again.
But it's kind of interesting that it says, what he says, out of the abundance principle of the heart,
yes,
the mouth will always speak. And I tell people all the time, I'm counseling couples, I'm talking to people, I'm saying, out of your heart will come the things that are concerning you, because your heart have the issues of life. So it's out of the abundance of his heart and what you know, that's why I'm speaking. So every time somebody gets up to speak, listen to what they're saying, and also take into consideration the non-verbal. The non-verbal in terms of what is happening. So just listen.
And so we have concluded that what our Prime Minister wants from the opposition is he wants to be given a pass whether the strategies fail or it succeed. And in particular, if it fails, he does not want to be criticized for the government's failure to get an effective strategy in play to control crime. That's what he wants.
You've been asking for a crime plan.
That is what he wants. He wants the opposition to shut up on the issue of crime. But if they shut up, what did Christ say? Even the very stones will praise me.
The stones are going to speak out.
The stones are going to speak out. The land going to speak out.
Yeah.
We got the signal to stop speaking out? Okay, time for a break.
You're listening to Best 100.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, how do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time on shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
I try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town.
The best taxi service.
They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
Need a cab from anywhere at all. You can call us on 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. What's on your mind?
It's a general comment.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing a lot of instances where people are in distress and there's an intervention by the state and there's a big photo up in terms of PR. Different people, Prime Minister, different people smiling in terms of what they're doing. That's good. But the greater problem and challenge that I have is that as we celebrate 60 years of being independent, subsequent governments have not done enough to create and to facilitate an environment where as Jamaicans, we can really grow and prosper. The Prime Minister said with the introduction of the needs that the government are not predators. Okay. But in terms of what they have used and the strategies and so on, really, you have to question, and I keep raising this, have subsequent governments over time with the different leaders really have taken the Jamaican people's interests at heart and done far-reaching policies that will create an environment that every Jamaican can really, 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 really prosper, grow, and thrive. I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I see it and I'm saying we must stop being very Machiavellian in terms of how we do things. Virtue for the appearance of virtue. When it really, we're not doing it to say, I want to strategically move individuals, move my people forward, that every one of us can really benefit. People continually call that and says that one of the things that a former prime minister did when he was heading out of office is that he ensured that his pension would it'd be the same
as the current prime minister's.
Yeah, I'm saying, okay, all right. Aye, heart speaks to issues of the heart.
Well,
and then I saw also yesterday in the paper where I think it was somewhere two Wi-Fi stations, free mobile in St. Anne, your parish. They opened one, I think, in Brownstown and another place, and they said they're going to Steertown. Steertown is
St. Anne too.
St. Anne. But then on the caption it says 800 people can access this within a 200 feet range. But I'm saying, as you pointed out,
that sounds like COVID gathering.
Yep. But not even COVID gathering. But you know, as we've been talking about digital literacy, when you do your stuff on that kind of a free Wi-Fi, you're
very vulnerable.
Yes, and I'm saying, why not?
That's like standing outside the ATM counting your cash.
We think of it in a joking way, but why not having used the monies that were set aside? Yes, move it into the schools. Can we say now with COVID that every single primary school, every single high school, every single institution of learning, including our basic school, has Wi-Fi, at least that goes into the school, which allows for that new methodology of learning to be used in the school setting? Have we done that in a significant way?
I don't believe we have.
Yeah, but we're taking these pictures about free Wi-Fi when the money should be strategic, saying, okay, now we look at the demographics, whereby this school needs it, and we're going through systematically and ensuring that we're doing it. So the schools are better off. That when we come to school in September, our young people have different modes of learning in terms of tablets are available and the teacher can do what is happening. And, but having a Wi-Fi, we could say, okay, we can project on the board. Look at that, interact with that in terms of it. No, we have not done that because our children have not been at the center of what we're seeking to do. It just takes the will to get it done. And if this is a good thing to do, then don't wait until say, how am I going to get a kickback from it? Because that is how a lot of our people think. How am I going to benefit from this?
All right. So producer will tell you that it's not unreasonable to say, how am I going to benefit from it? What is unreasonable? Because that is, in fact, that's how marketers approach things.
Correct.
To show you how it's going to be good for you. But all that you're diving into raises two things. The first is that the government is setting itself up as serious competition for any telecommunications carrier who seeks to get into that business. Understand, that if you proliferate the public space with hotspots, meaning you government now have all these facilities under your ownership, you are a serious competitor to those who are seeking to put paid service in the homes, offices, business places in those same communities. So that's one thing. And that was never. In fact, that is a policy that is deliberately frowned on, excluded, stamped out. And if people were really watching their business, they would see that the government is setting itself up in competition against the very persons who are funding the installation of those networks. Because that money that the Universal Service Fund collects and spends comes from the same telecommunications carriers who collect it off of their business. So do you understand that you are now paying for your competitor to set himself up against you? And that's not the intention. The Universal Service Fund and funds of that nature are established so that carriers can have a source of subsidy for the services they provide to customers who live in impossible places or customers who can't afford the reasonable cost of service. It is a fund that is meant to pay for subsidized services. And it's the same carriers who put up their money who get it, who earn it back. It is like, it's a trust. It's like NHD. You put up your money, NHD is supposed to guard it closely, and you can get it back when you're ready for a house. In the meantime, other people who need house use it. And the interest payments they make will one day become the source from which you can get money when you are ready for your own house. It's a trust and it's sacred. And one of the things that Jamaica has become expert at in terms of our leaders, they don't respect anything that is sacred. They don't respect trust. You call it trust, it just means money waiting for me to dive into it when I can pass a law or give myself permission to do it. And that tells you that the supremacy of the law, the rule of law, is non-existent in Jamaica. And it's non-existent in the places of authority. Because the only ones who can change these rules are those whom we have elected and put them up there, and they get up and change it. Let me write myself a permission to do this or that. Yet when it comes to making changes that would truly, truly benefit us, like me can't afford to go to England to appeal. I got a bad judgment out of the Court of Appeal, and I'd already spent so much money getting to that point. I couldn't afford to go to England.
Who can afford to go to England?
So I had to just suck it up. Of course, I decided, last night when I was contemplating Marcus Garvey's own journey, I said Marcus Garvey was convicted on false, trumped up, perverse evidence, and he died with that conviction. I see Prime Minister Patterson had launched a petition that the record should be expunged or he should be pardoned or whatever it is, so that he doesn't remain interred in history as a convicted felon. I said, hold on, I'm in good company.
I never thought about
I'm in very good company. Of course, the Apostle Paul went through the same. People have had to live with unjust treatment simply because there are no reasonable options to fight it, and because you're in a society and you live at a time when nobody cares about your experience. They are only selfishly concerned about theirs.
I see a picture here of somebody working on the roadway. Yesterday I was passing through. I was trying to go from one place to another.
Well, I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Yes.
You go on and get yours off your chest.
No, I was so peeved. I'm seeing a line of traffic, and I'm saying, what is this? At peak hour. What is this? And then I come up close and I notice that at 6:30 in the evening, they are digging up a drain because they were laying one, and they stopping the traffic, allowing it. And I'm saying at 6:30 in the evening, that is when traffic is at its height, and then to coordinate the effort, you have the police directing traffic. And I said they don't have anything better to do than doing this at this point in time. And I'm saying, this is crazy. You see it happening over and over and over and over again. Election will come. Mark my word. So we have to do all of these infrastructure works. They say that we're doing something, digging up perfectly good things that have been functioning when the money could be used for other things. And I'm saying, come on. I was really upset, I can tell. I was really upset. I'm saying, I said, what is this? What is this? At this hour, when you're going home and you have a traffic street, it's going all the way back down. And I'm saying, to do that now when early in the day, you could have done it when traffic was at a lull. After the major traffic patterns people have gone to work. No, sir. Mm-mm.
I don't know what to make of your complaint.
No, we have to do better, man. Better coordination.
So is this an NAA issue?
I don't even... I don't even know who it was, but I know it was a company that seemed to have received the contract to fix the drain or whatever, and was doing it in the middle of the day. Not in the middle of the day. At peak hour in the evening when people are trying to get home. So what for a journey that would have taken you 10 minutes was taking you half an hour to go through a section because this was happening. Come on. And we see it everywhere you go in Jamaica. You're saying, who is coordinating this? Who is there any oversight? This and the other thing in terms of road work, do you notice that the Constant Spring Road that was recently reopened? I mean, where your market used to be, they took down the market and they're resurfacing the road already.
Oh, I didn't know.
They're patching the road, but it patching. But should they be patching the road now? That was recently. Yeah. They shouldn't be patching or.
I emphasize patching because that's what we do. We don't resurface roads.
Are you on mic? Because I can.
Yeah, they're patching it, whatever, and the road was recently constructed. And if you go on the new portions of Highway 2000, it's over 20 years now, and they say after 20 years you should be resurfacing, and they're doing it. It's when you go on the one, the PJ Patterson, but the new one that was recently constructed, Mandela Highway, they're doing patching work already. I'm saying, so can some engineer explain to me what is the average life of roads before you begin to do real rehabilitation? You know, producer, it's not much longer than that, at least 20 years?
Yeah, normally it's 15, 20 years
yes.
Before you have to. You know, but these days it's not so.
Oh, good. So,
substandard work? Substandard material?
It is substandard work for sure.
Yeah.
Well, truth is a combination. Both work and material.
Yeah, why do we do that to ourselves? So we spend all of this money up front, and then in a few years, the road is being fixed, patch, whatever you want to call it. No, sir.
Well, you know, the problem is not so much of patching it, you know, but the kind of job that they do.
Yes.
I mean, it's terrible. What you have now are very bumpy roads because they patch the road and the patch itself is much higher than the original surface. And then when the rain comes, you find that it starts to eat out right around the patch itself.
One big pothole.
You know, and it's even worse than before.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean.
So we spend all these money, we sign all these contracts, we're going on, and we taking the photo ops, but follow up the sustainability of what we have invested money into as Jamaicans has gone through the window. And for a lot of persons, you just check for yourself. You're driving all over Jamaica and they say they've recently done this road. Just time they finish the road and check within a year, 2 years, the road surface has deteriorated. And for me, that is money down the drain. And we have to go find the money again to fix it. And you're going to have the demonstrations again. And you're going to say to yourself, why do we do this cycle, this ring around the roses, I call it? And we're doing it and we're not getting off and saying we got to do better as Jamaicans for Jamaicans.
I want to share some information with you and just get some feedback on how we see this being received by citizens. Do you know what a mobile police post is, by the way?
Yeah, man, the police are mobile, so they just go from place to place and they stop and people can go and check it. That's what it is to me, if it is mobile, so it is not stationary.
I think it's the police vehicles.
Yeah, but listen to this now. Well, maybe it is the author of the piece, who is the arrow. A permanent mobile police post. A permanent mobile police post equipped with modern equipment such as cameras is to hit the streets of downtown Montego Bay within a week as the authorities in the second city push to restore public order. The high-tech vehicle is expected to play a critical role in the multi-agency initiative dubbed Restoring Paradise, a public order reset.
PR again.
Speaking with the Gleaner on Monday as the initiative was being launched, Senior Superintendent Vernon Ellis, head of the St. James Police Division, pointed out that if left unchecked, a breakdown in public order could stall the growth and development of the parish. Ellis noted that a similar post was previously located in Sam Sharp Square, but did not have some of the crime-fighting gear needed to sustain the security efforts. We are moving in an age of technology, and while we need a lot of aid from technology, we sought the help of our partners. I'm wondering who those partners are. And the mobile station is now equipped with cameras, the capability to record, to do quite a few things. We'll be equipping it with other things too that will be able to aid the officers while they are on duty. The unit will have the capacity for 360-degree surveillance, a holding area for any arrests made, and will operate as a fully functioning police station and a hub for all enforcement agencies. The Transport Authority will also be bringing its mobile unit into the city to allow persons to sign up for public passenger vehicle plates and access other services. The mobile unit is one of several initiatives under the latest public-private sector partnership in Montego Bay aimed at restoring order. Another 14-day effort had been implemented in February, but the successes have fizzled out. Ellis said that this time around, the agencies on board will push by targeting their respective areas. The long-standing, and here we come to it, the long-standing illegal vending issues are to come into focus with the municipal corporation looking at restructuring vending areas, some of which have more than twice the permitted number of sellers. Vendors in prohibited areas will also be removed and given an opportunity to regularize their trade with the municipality. Efforts to get comment from the secretary-manager of the municipality were futile. What do we think?
Terrible idea.
Which one? That it's a permanent mobile vehicle?
Well, that is ridiculous to begin with.
Oxymoron.
Yeah, it is. And permanent mobile.
What I like about it is
trying to think
an
out of the
effort.
box.
No, that's not out of the box. That is a standard thing. We were talking about mobile education labs and so on. Mobility is a way of bringing services to a convenient point for citizens.
That's why you get service vehicles.
And well, so you can be mobile and go to the market
Correct.
that you serve. So, for example, taxi men being able to just nip over to the vehicle window and apply to renew stuff and so on. Those are making it convenient for persons to do certain things is a good thing.
Yeah, but
because
the same
you don't have
technology
to
you put in the
because you don't have to take
vehicles.
time out of your. Yes, so the mobility of the service is a good thing for some services, but what I see them doing is enabling themselves to roll around the town and scrape up people. That's what I see.
And then what you're going to have now is people will start to attack those vehicles.
Well, you begin to see those sci-fi movies where the people topple the vehicles.
Mm. I thought about that.
When I said it, you heard it.
Sci-fi that you see in some of the movies.
Put the technology in the vehicles. The telecommunications companies who are here, let them come on board and put the technology in the vehicles.
What Pastor said is right, There's an effort to make Montego Bay look pretty again. Never mind the sore foot and the things that you can throw in the mobile vehicle and carry it off somewhere.
Remember, Sam Sharp was the year that they scraped up the people.
The mad people and carry them, go dump them in another parish. That's what this is about. From UC thing about public-private partnership in Montego Bay, the well-heeled Montegonian businessmen and women have decided that we want the place to go back to look like paradise. They talk about paradise.
You heard that? Yes.
Paradise, restoring paradise, a public order reset. Anytime you hear something that name public order, and you see the word paradise somewhere near to it, it is to take up the unsightly and go hide them somewhere where you hope they never see the light of day again. That's the part of it that scares me, that now the police and the well-to-do are hand in glove to figure out ways to take poor people and struggling people out of situations where they are making the place look bad. And then after that, nobody quite know what happened next. Did you move them? You remember when we were being arrested and the commissioner kept calling the arresting officer, asking him if he finished yet?
Oh, yes.
And the press release was already out in the media saying how many persons had been arrested and they had overcounted because it wasn't exactly so. That's one of those moves. Montego Bay, look out. But you know what I would say? Police, commissioner, minister, look out. What I saw last night,
look out
in terms of, no, people are going to push.
Push back?
And they're not going to be coordinated and polite. Already you see some of the rougher ones are just blowing up houses and burning their way to whatever they want. They're using the JU strategy. I'm going to take what's mine by fire or force. And use fire.
I mean, JU.
Yes, you're a man from the Bible who heard that he was to be king and decided that anybody between him and the throne was to be buried. So we know in the place that we know things without contradiction, we know that this now will go down just like that. And there are some persons who are just simply doing whatever is necessary. There are others of us who recognize that you've got to be concerned about the day after.
Because that's the most important thing. not what happened on the day, no. The most important thing is what happens after. And I think in terms of our strategies, whatever we're using, you have to think about the day after. You have to think about the sustainability of what you're doing. You know? And what Justice Panton got wrong? What?
You're like a magpie this morning. If it's shiny, you're going for it.
A magpie?
I just pulled up a headline and he read it in the middle of considering the day. No, the day after is very important and we have to plan for it. And there are some of us who, that is our mission. We stand on the wall, we see what's going on, and we have the foresight and the skills, I dare say, to deal with the day after. You guys can deal with the day.
No, but we have to think about the day.
We got to think about the day after.
That.
What's going to be there for our children and their children? Somebody has to maintain the presence of mind and ensure that you don't burn the field to the extent where on the day after you're picking through the rubble trying to find food.
Yeah. No, because there are some people who say, burn, burn, burn.
Who are those people?
Burn it out. Let's get it out.
Yeah, man.
That's the rage that you're feeling.
The rage that they
but we
feel.
have to say, hold on. When you burn, what is left after you burn? And the truth is, it happens on both sides,
Yeah.
The persons who are oppressed and the oppressor. Because the oppressor, you remember the strategy you spoke about, the Japanese...
The sacking of Nanjing.
Yes.
Yeah, people need to read that.
Yes, and what the implications were and the wounds that are left psychologically in the psyche of the people. We have to take all of those things into consideration, which is why I believe we need the wisdom of God. The wisdom of God is needed in all of what we're doing. So all the people who are persons of faith, time to rise up and time to ask for the revelation and the inspiration to do what we must do. So we don't burn it all down and there's nothing left.
And there's nothing left and we can't eat ashes.
Yeah.
No matter what you hear about how good it is for the stomach or to brush your teeth or whatever.
Can't eat ashes.
You can't eat ashes and coal. Did you want to ask me about the presentation I did on Sunday?
Yes, I was in it for a period,
You were?
Yes, I came in.
So did you hear when I said I miss Pastor Percy?
Yes, and somebody said, she keeps saying she miss me, like partner in crime. Our partner in goodness. We're not partner in goodness.
Right.
Our partners in goodness.
We certainly have a consensus on crime. All right, we got the signal. When we come back, we're going to open the lines. I'll do a quick recap because we've ranged over so many topics this morning, and I do want you to focus, and catch some of what we've been saying and share what your perspective is on these things. The numbers to call are 619-1508 and 279-8473. This is the Morning Connection. Please stay with us. We're going to be right back.
You're listening to Best 100.
Hello, I'm Moira Alderson with the BBC News. Russia's defence ministry has admitted that one of its ammunition depots in Crimea has been hit by saboteurs. Explosions near the town of Junkoy also damaged local infrastructure and forced the evacuation of 2,000 nearby residents. Vitaly Shevchenko has more details.
There seem to be two incidents which may or may not be related, but they happened roughly at the same time. One, the biggest one, at that munitions storage facility outside the village called Maiske. Lots of videos circulating online showing plumes of smoke and what appears to be munitions flying around. The local Russia-installed head, Sergei Aksionov, has visited the site, and he said at least 2 people have been injured and a local railway line has been damaged.
A week ago, a Russian airbase in Crimea was hit by what appeared to be a missile strike. The Ukrainian government hasn't claimed responsibility for either attack. The first United Nations ship to leave Ukraine since the Russian invasion has set sail for the drought-hit Horn of Africa. The MV Brave Commander departed from the Black Sea port of Pivdeni, laden with 23,000 tons of wheat for Ethiopia. The World Food Programme says nearly 350 million people in more than 80 countries now face acute food insecurity. Kenyans are waiting to hear from Raila Odinga, the losing candidate in the presidential election, to find out if William Ruto's victory is to be challenged in court. Mr. Odinga has not yet commented on the official result, which gave Deputy President Mr. Ruto just over 50% of the votes. Anne Soy is in Nairobi.
Well, we're waiting to hear from him this afternoon. We understand that he will address the nation here in Nairobi. We're waiting to see what direction he will take. When I spoke to him before this election, he said this is the last time he's running. At the age of 77, he does not intend to run again. So they have the option of going to the Supreme Court.
A year since the Taliban seized power in Afghanistan, tens of thousands of people who worked with foreign governments are still stuck in the country. Yogita Limaye reports.
More than 100 teachers who worked for the British Council are yet to be evacuated from Afghanistan. Some of them have told the BBC that they've been detained or are being investigated by the Taliban, accused of being spies for the UK government. Most of them are in hiding. Hundreds who worked for and with the UK military are also still stranded in the country. Many say they feel abandoned by the British government. The UK Foreign Office has said it's processing applications as quickly as possible.
World News from the BBC. 2 police officers guarding a polio vaccination team in northwest Pakistan have been shot dead by gunmen on motorbikes. According to local police, the 2-member vaccination team were unharmed. Pakistan and Afghanistan are the only countries where polio remains endemic, but vaccination teams are commonly targeted by Islamic militants in both countries, who claim they are part of a Western plot to sterilize Muslims. Sri Lanka has defended its decision to allow a controversial Chinese surveillance ship to dock at one of its ports. The vessel's visit has turned into a delicate diplomatic incident, as our Asia-Pacific editor Michael Bristow reports.
China says its ship, the Yuanwang 5, is a scientific research vessel, but others believe it can monitor satellites, rockets and ballistic missiles. India, Sri Lanka's neighbour, is particularly concerned that the ship is on its doorstep and had pressured Sri Lanka to delay the arrival. China, though, appears to have got its way. Sri Lanka is caught in the middle of all this, not wanting to upset either India or China, particularly when it's looking for financial help from both countries to get through its current economic crisis.
The UN Special Envoy to Myanmar is beginning her first trip to the country today. Noeline Heyzer is visiting a day after a court sentenced the ousted civilian leader Aung San Suu Kyi to a further 6 years in prison on corruption charges, a decision strongly criticised by the US and the European Union. For the second time in a week, a man has been taken off a commercial flight in the Netherlands after he sent other passengers photographs of aeroplane crashes. The flight was due to take off from Schiphol Airport when people on board received the images on their mobile phones via the AirDrop feature, which allows people to share files with anyone sitting or standing nearby them. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Warning, warning. When there is a hurricane warning, button down, tie down, everything. Lift appliances and furniture off the ground and secure your valuable items. If you wanna boat, secure it on land and turn on your yard. If you a fisherman, make sure you turn off every breaker, and before you sleep, turn off your generator. Flooding, that is a real danger. If you live a gully bank, live a bank or low line area. If you see flood waters are rising, get out, get out. Heed the warning. If your land starts slipping and a sliding, get out, get out. Heed the warning. Hurricanes gonna happen, so be prepared.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
Ah, what a relief.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
This is stuff, man.
Good morning. Welcome back. We're going to open the lines, but you wanted to know what Justice Panton got wrong? I can tell you what Justice Panton got right. Of course, he's a retired Justice of Appeal. He was the former president of Jamaica's Court of Appeal. He's been interviewed, and like so many of I tell you, these retired people are feisty in their retirement.
Feisty. Yes, man.
So many of the people who have exited the stage are coming back with their tell-alls and their opinions
decency,
and their
decency.
Yes.
There is a decent. There's a way of operating, common decency that to them was okay.
Yeah, man. Open the line.
Yeah, man. And I'm saying, oh boy, We need a lot of that.
But I do like the fact that persons who have a contemporary and relatable viewpoint on certain things are speaking out, because it is through the contention of differing ideas that we find a right path and can examine our own positions with greater rigor, just to make sure that we are not fooling ourselves. So I like the fact that Justice Panton is speaking out. Also, Justice Panton is the chairman of the Integrity Commission.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very good for Jamaicans to see into the mind of someone who is standing watch over corruption and other important matters in our country. So I love when him talk. And whatever he says to me is useful, whether what him says is right or wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It tells you how he's thinking. Do we have a caller on the line? I don't want to.
No, but just before you go, we have made the call for the gag order. And they have said it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the
I should have updated you, Pastor Percy.
The churches.
Remember, we were invited to make submissions, and the invitation still open. They're just waiting to reschedule it.
Okay, good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, people. How we gonna do?
This sounds like Elaine.
Still shining the light all over. Keep it going.
No, this is not Elaine.
It's not Elaine. Good morning. So sorry to have given you the wrong name, which is why I never tried to recognize. For a moment.
I give me the wrong name.
Yes, because for a moment there you sounded like our sister Elaine that usually call and talk to us about the need to put a park and some entertainment areas for the children.
Instead of the...
But how are you?
I am fine, and I don't hear you say anything about my song, so I'm going to call it for chastise.
Oh, Lord. You did send that. You sent the song?
Yeah, she said she sent it to the thing.
I sent them
to Best FM engineer number or something like that.
And I was told that they were sent to you, so what have you done with them?
No, remember, you sent them the first time when they came to me. I listened to one and then it expired, and you said you would send it again. So I'm asking, did you send
it again to you? And I was listening. You know.
But it wouldn't be to me directly. It would be to...
I sent it to the
engineer. The engineer.
The WhatsApp. And I was told that it was sent to you.
Okay.
By the person who was at the WhatsApp, so I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, I am going to carry a CD, come put in and up there.
Right. All right.
So remind me of what these songs are again, please.
Okay. The songs are written to build our Jamaican people.
Written by you?
One of them is All Men Are Equal in the Sight of God. The next one is Let's Spread Love Every Day, Everywhere We Go.
So the songs are written by you, performed by you, written by... Is someone connected to you?
The songs are written by me and performed by my husband, who is born blind.
Okay.
And he's Jig's disciple.
So are they published? Are they in the public domain?
Yeah, they're in the public domain, but I'm not getting them played on radio. I'm wondering why.
Don't
I know one of them. I know the one that said all men are equal. There are some people who do not believe all of us are equal.
Okay, so you don't need to send it to me personally. If it's in the public domain, request one of the songs. Give me a name. Let's play it today, and the audience can decide. And they may tell you maybe why it's not being played. I mean, I'm sure the songs are as lovely as you are. But, so give me one of the names. Let's not do the send by WhatsApp thing. All Men Are Equal?
A CD and put it in at BSFM some long time ago, and I thought more or less it would be on the record, but I don't know.
Well, listen, in this day and age, let me tell you how the technology works now. In this day and age, we download our songs, create a playlist. The playlist is on the system, on the computer, and when songs are being chosen. So if you bring a CD, there's a whole journey for it to make its way onto a playlist. And so I'm sorry to say it, but CD, I don't know if they have a CD player here. So everything is...
All right, I'm going to send it again.
No, don't send it. May I beg you, don't send it. Tell me the name of the song. Let the engineer find it. It must be online. Isn't it in some digital format online?
It's in digital form. It is on YouTube as well.
Okay, yes.
It is on Amazon.
I'm going to play one for you. I'm going to play one for you today. Which one you want?
The one that says "Let's Spread Love." But the point is that on YouTube they don't have the whole song.
Well, that's your fault.
On Amazon, I don't know. You can get the whole song, but it's on Amazon. It's "Let's Spread Love" by Jig the Cypher.
No,
that song I want it all over Jamaica.
Yeah, no, we can't
because
play it.
People don't understand love.
We can't play it from Amazon. You have to tell me somewhere it is that the engineer can just download it into a playlist, my playlist, since I'm offering to play it for you, and then so he can select it. But if you're sending it to me by WhatsApp, or please, I mean that would, and my WhatsApp is set up to delete things after 7 days. You know that function it have? Because if not, you would just be storing too many things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I apologize that you've been given the same treatment here as you have received elsewhere. It's not the intention, but you can see how easy it is for those things to happen.
Okay.
Engineer.
Anyway, what I want to say to you about crime today.
1 second. I want to put this. I don't want you to chastise me about the song anymore. Can you find one of those songs that this lady's talking about?
Let's Spread Love by Jig's Disciple.
Let's Spread Love by Jig's Disciple. Even if it's
Jiggscyple.
Yeah, Jiggsy. Jig's Disciple? Yeah. Okay.
CYP, it's not a D, it's CYPLE.
CYPLE. So we get that out of our system because, black people don't like being chastised, it make we remember slavery. So me not like to be chastised. It bring up back some awful memories. All right, so what did you call about this morning?
I want to talk to you about crime in our country.
Yes.
And there are some people who are misfitting our country, and we put them in the wrong place. And sometimes we don't even know what we are doing. But I'm not going to go there. I'm saying about our crime situation.
Mm-hmm.
The crimes are committed by people all over the island.
Mm-hmm.
So the police has them under their what you call arms because of the community that they are in. Say for instance, that crime is committed in Bridgeport.
Okay.
And it's men doing it all over the place. And you know that these are not working men.
Mm-hmm.
So you find them. Find all of them. Take out all of them on them. Put a law in you, take them out. And you carry them, but train them how people are supposed to behave against people. In so doing, you are doing two things. You are educating them about themselves. You are helping them to understand that humanity is greater than just a piece of wood you chop down. And in so doing also, you are opening your understanding that people do care about them because they are human beings and they are supposed to be cared about. You understand? And I look at Jesus when he was walking and this crowd was there and the short man climbed up into the tree.
The short man.
His name's
Zacchaeus. Yeah.
And he's a thief,
Tax
so he
collector.
go up in that tree because he shot and wants to Jesus. But Jesus has him pass and turn up and look up. And say, you see you? Come down here. Come down here, stop. I'm so frightened that when him come, he start confess all of this, remember, the thief and when I go give it back.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes.
Because he never expected Jesus to go yard. He said, Jesus said, listen to me, I'm going your yard today. So come down.
Mm-hmm.
And these are little things that we can look at as you face evil around us daily. Understand?
Yes.
In my community, I try to help all the people understand who they are. And I believe all of us must start doing it because there was a thing that I think Mr. Pakistan put in
Values and Attitudes. The Values and Attitudes program.
Values and Mr. That was something that would have taken. I don't know why they stop a thing like that. Because if you don't know your value, then you're not going to understand the value of another person.
True.
So these are things that we have to look at.
Okay.
Working in a place that's called Riverton City, when I went down there, all the young men that I was able to talk to, I talked to them. And I try to help the people so they know me in the community. I went into other garrisons. But the whole thing is that these politicians go around and make garrison and stop people in there, and people are supposed to jam upon one another. You ever go down a Roslyn or Rosestone? Roslyn, I think it is, downtown. And see the type of house them down there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
You cannot imagine that kind of situation, and people have dirty water, all kind of thing on the street every day, right into the city most time.
So
these kind of things can cause you to have violence.
So the point you made about the police being in a position to identify and corral the unemployed and disaffected who are the ones committing crimes, I can understand that as a part of
resocialization.
I can understand it as a part of enforcing law, but the resocializing part of it just kind of woke up in me the recollection that the fruit of the Spirit, which is manifested in these graces and values and virtues that would be the output of the resocializing program.
Exactly.
Those expressions of the fruit don't come from teaching. And you can put them in a hot box and talk to them and run them through different simulations of life and so on. But that's not how the fruit comes about. The fruit comes about through living and experiencing and suffering and making mistakes and falling and getting up. One of the things that we are trying to do at this stage is we're trying to teach persons things they should have learned or got with the breast milk.
Long time.
And so that in their walk and their action, the fruit could develop and mature to the point where you could pick it. In our line of work, I may associate myself with Pastor line of work now, there is really only one recipe that has been given to produce fruit out of a, call it diseased spot, and it is through the renewing of the mind, the death of self, and the renewing of the mind and body through taking into your being this life and spirit of the perfect one. May kind of rephrase it into a very neutral tone. Yes, because I don't want people to be thinking about the altar call and the confession of sins and you're now saved.
That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm sure you're not going to think about that. No.
Right. That's why I put it that way, because for us to take adults or to take persons who have already been corrupted and pull out of them kindness, love, respect, honor, when they have never experienced it, never lived it, when everything they know runs in a counter direction, those persons have to be renewed.
Have to change your mind.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm talking about, the renewing of the mind.
Me fall in love with the conversation, and
so we have another
producer
call
just tell me we have another call.
But thank you.
Thank you so
some
much.
Very crucial points and what we need to do.
And I think we can continue it. I'm going to find one of your music, and if it's only one verse, I'll play it.
All right. All right, lady love. Take care.
I love you, girl. I love you. Mr. Percy, are you the chick?
Percy.
Yes, I'm the chick. Percy the chick. All right. All right, lady love.
I love everybody. Love your listeners. All the best.
Have a great day. Thank you. Good morning. Yes. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
Good morning, Wayne.
Yeah.
The bright Wayne.
We just talk.
Yes.
I think she must be a really humble lady, to take up a man that is blind from birth and married, I think there's something about that, Can everybody ever do that?
Yes, sometimes my sense of humor kicks in, so I won't let it kick in right now.
Yeah. All right. Just about the police, the what they call survey, them do the police.
Yes. The poll.
the poll.
Yeah.
But the thing is that if the head not clean, then it's a hard for the police and clean. It's a hard for many things that's supposed to help us, really help, you know. If the head just not go there, just not go there, you know. So the results of them get from the poll wouldn't surprise me, you know, because the head just not good. Right now, I would ask the question again, but this time I got ask the pastor, because the pastor wasn't here yesterday. Right?
Go ahead.
We are going to bring forth the change, you know, how we are going to make things happen in a way that really benefit us, you know, because to me, I don't feel like we can go to these political leaders for that change. Well, it's not impossible for a sinner to stop sin and start do what is right. It's not impossible. But you know, I really look to them. So, Pastor, how the change, where the change are going to come from? Because most likely if it come from the bottom, we're going to get angry and we're going to start burn down plates and we're going to start loot and we're going to start do all type of something. If it's going to come from we at the bottom, then they're like a last class people then. So,
all right. So,
how you think that change are going to come?
Oh, so, but Wayne, just look at history. Real changes in terms of empires have happened with the people. Some of them have been very violent. Some of them have been very peaceful. And it comes with an education and an understanding of, firstly, what it is that the Almighty has said is yours. It is said of Christianity, and these are they who have turned the world upside down. Meaning, if you understand the context and the tyranny that Christianity was birthed in the Roman Empire, they change it, you know, by the simple acts of love for one another in terms of how they reached out. Like a simple thing like people don't even know. If they thought that a child was not worth it, they would put them out in the street and leave them to die. The Christians, then you know what they did? They took those children and said because they were created in the image of God, they were worth something. So that's where the real change begins with people underground. It is called what I call our simple revolution of love that remove the evil that was there and replaced it with the good that we kind of have come to assume and take for granted. That's how it is. A lot of us in Jamaica say that we are God-fearing and we believe in God. I believe if we believe that this God has said all of those things about us, then we start with a revolution of love on the ground. And some people have said to us in regards to the founding of the nation, somebody, the map, the motto, the anthem, and the prayer is a way that was setting foundation. If we every day, every single person do that, then the real change will happen. And God is there willing to help us. I don't know what Minette says, but that's my thing of it. It comes with our interactions with each other in terms of the justice thing, being just with one another. And we deciding that the thing says, boy, I say you must go on, and we say otherwise. Yeah. That's it, Wayne.
Pastor,
yeah, man.
Pastor, do you think most people need a leader?
Yes, we do need a leader, and we have a leader already.
All right, Pastor, may I ask, why do people need a leader?
To show the way, to cast a vision, to say this is the better way.
To prevent confusion.
Yeah.
Can't have everybody pulling a different direction.
So that means confusion is among the people then?
No, it means that differing views that are not
lining up
will cause confusion. Confusion is the result of differing views. It don't necessarily mean that people are seeking to create confusion. If you and I think differently on a thing and we're still walking in the same general direction. At some point, it will emerge that we are not, we don't feel the same way entirely. Now, when that arises, we could get into fuss and fight over it, or we could take a different way to approach it.
Deal with the dispute, yeah.
But
and if there's a leader, right, and the leader are coordinating, put things in good order, but some people feel like it not really benefit them the way they want it to benefit them. It can still create a chaos.
There's always that way.
Mm-hmm.
There's always that.
So that means then the change is like the change is impossible to come without the true Almighty God, to those who believe that He is Almighty God.
Well, we're back to first principle.
Yeah.
But we have another call on the line, Wayne. So I'm glad that you've
come to that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought yourself to that understanding, because that's where it begins and that's where it ends.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Thank you.
We have a call on the line.
Morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Not bad.
I know you're here to wait. I know that.
Call.
Yeah.
What role does he play? What's the name of that role?
The guy who accept the phone call. Oh, here, the engineer in our on the show.
The engineer.
He's the engineer. He's the one who manages the board.
Okay, there was an engineer there. I don't think it's this one. I'm not sure it could be this one. He used to call. He used to say, "Are you still there? Thanks for holding."
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hear that anymore. And sometimes I hear so long waiting.
What's that?
You know.
Oh,
but anyway,
different person. Yeah. And you know we're
Good morning.
Good morning. You know it's 8:32. We normally take the break at 8:30.
I always.
Are you timing that?
My timing is the only time. So you're going on the break now?
I would love to, but yeah, we have to take the break. Those are the commitments.
How long
it's
is
not
the
a
break?
long break, though. 2 minutes?
1 minute break, yeah.
How long is the break? 2 minutes, yes. All right. The quicker we do it, the easier. Just hang on for me.
So,
hang on.
I don't know if anyone talked about this morning, but I didn't know about them building a statue for Bustamante.
We're taking the break.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
People, are you listening? If you choose to remain at home after an evacuation order has been issued, you do so at your own risk.
Get down! Heed the warning!
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Easy! Let not your hearts be troubled. Just believe in God Almighty and daily renew the mind. As we live in this time when fake is more valued than real, lies prefer to truth, the unnatural put above the natural. This is Lady Donna, aka Double D Don Don, with a new song, Almighty Jah, encouraging your people to keep the faith. God will make a way. Get your copy today. It's on all digital platforms. Lady Donna Official on Instagram, Facebook, AsujaRecords.com for bookings. Asuja Record label at Gmail. Almighty Jah!
Half a tree, 100, half a tree. Bossy, how you do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? You waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling her, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back, Cruz. Thanks for holding. Thanks for your patience. Go ahead.
Like I said, I don't know if anyone called about that statue that I heard on the news that they made for
it's in the paper
someone down at
in Hanover. Yeah, man. And
no one has mentioned it. You're the first. Go ahead.
Do you think they really need another statue for him after one is in parade?
What is his connection to Hanover?
I think that's where it came from.
So you've answered your own question.
So that means if PMP should win again, one should put in Manchester.
They don't need to win again. They could do it now. Let me tell you, I went to a celebration of Marcus Garvey's legacy and so on. There was not one government person. If the government person was there, they were hiding.
I still think this statue stuff is a waste of money. It's a waste of money. Whether PMP do it or JLP. Even some of the statue that they're making for these runners, I don't think it's a waste of money.
So here's what. There's a revenue proposition behind it, which maybe it's not being dealt with in the public eyes, or maybe it's not even being dealt with as yet.
You mean tourists?
Every place that you see a statue becomes a place for events that can build national pride, that can create events that raise money. Every place that you see it. And I want to use something came to me because of somebody wrote something on my on the chat here, and it had me remember there's a principle of the kingdom now. The honor you give is the honor you receive. If you treat persons with honor and respect, that's what you get. If you don't care about them and ignore them and say anything that is done to make it exalt or to give them any kind of due is a waste, then that's what you will get in your life. And in part, I think it's why so many Jamaicans get crap, because they give crap.
They dishonor people.
They dishonor people. And let me tell you, when people serve in public offices, we have a way sometimes of denigrating them and being punitive in our treatment, and we're disrespectful in how we refer to them. And while they are in office, what do you think they do to it? They treat us the same way. It's a principle of the kingdom. The honor you give is the honor you get. What do you think?
The other thing I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
You know what you think the thing last night about Portia Simpson?
Some of it. For part of the time, I had to go to that Marcus Garvey thing. I'm hoping I will get a chance to watch it without, the interruption of advertisements.
The girl from Woodall.
The girl, yes. Did you like it? Yeah. Was it sympathetically done?
Yeah, in some ways. But what I'm talking about is the treatment that she got because she was a woman. She's a woman.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, she's still alive.
I remember. When was the last time you saw anybody shoving any mic in Andrew Holney's face?
Well, the first thing he would need to have a press conference.
Yes, right, or walking.
I have never seen that. Never seen that. When last time have one? A press conference, or even if I go issue house and somebody shove mic in their face.
They not get close enough to do that, man.
They not get close. You see when, we see them at government vehicle pass through Santa Cruz and it's speed. When we see them a drive with police in front of them, man, that's it. But when I say no, that man no have no conference or no press conference for the longest while I'm not here. Dean Jackson not say anything about it.
No.
You get my point?
I get your point fully, my brother.
And she was so mad about when Portia was leading that she's not meeting with the public, she's not talking. And now, Andres, look, there are so much corruption in this country that somebody just shove a mic in Andrew face and ask him about it. Can we not hear nothing about it?
Well, you know you have seen already that if you even use your own microphone and curse Andrew, the police will come for you. So, no laughing matter. But I take your point. Your point is well made. I do hope that the Prime Minister would make himself available in a real way to deal with the citizens.
They want Dean Jackson to get him and get some people like you and Jerry Small and Muta Babington question. They want them the kind of people have him in our room.
You make
it so truthful and honest and young and vibrant and him born after independence. And that's what I want.
You made the producer laugh.
So if Dean Jackson hear me, because she's so like she's so clean and honest, we want her to go to the Prime Minister and get him in our room where Jerry them can ask him some question and you and Kabu ask him some question. As long as they're not threatening him, I'll tell him no bad word. They want somebody else to come in and talk about that.
Yeah, man, you're very correct.
Hey, I remember the big thing that caused the uproar in the media was about this man, the Clarendon man who built the shop them. You remember?
Oh, Mirage?
It wasn't Mirage. I think it was Azan.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, when he was running, yeah.
Yeah,
And he built some shop.
Richard.
That was the thing that young journalist was shoving the mic.
To ask the Prime Minister about it. Yeah. Well, freedom of the press is usually more enjoyed in one administration than the other.
There are more corruption. Every week you have a new corruption. So we need them to ask Andrew Hollis about them. The corruption are gone.
All right, my brother. Thank you. We got it.
All right.
Okay. Have a good day.
Yeah,
good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
He asks a very important question in regards to the treatment.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome.
I'm feeling here. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Pastor.
Good morning, sir. How are you? That's a little thing.
I'm good, Give thanks for life.
True.
Right. You see, I'm not concerned, because you see the thing about Constitution. The Constitution is the law of the land, right?
Correct.
And the people them who make it is the parliamentarians and the judges and some lawyers and the government body and a whole who know about law and can farm law. And the thing about it is that when they don't farm that law, the law is higher than all of them and it applies to everybody, every citizen.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. And the thing about it is that at the end of the day, which is exercise now, is like, say, another law is for those inside and another law is for those outside. Everybody don't seem like they are under the constitutional law.
That's true.
Because the picture that is painting now, and it is causing a lot of misunderstanding in Jamaica. And we don't live in the days of Kaya Machas and Chink again, everybody kind of highlight and know what going and see what going.
I love it.
And when the government body and all of them people, we follow after him, we're supposed to obey the law and exercise the law in the right and proper way. And do some things and get with it and you cage them up somewhere there and them get with it and the people that out there so now so are going and it's like say right now by the law no I know you see and make no sense to anybody because from the people they won't make it and mash it up like that. What do you expect the people them out there to do now?
So let me ask you what you see as the logical next step in that now. What would people do if you find yourself in that situation where you are being held liable under a set of laws that the very people who are imposing it on you and, carrying out the penalties, they are ignoring it? What would your next step be? Well,
the thing about it, like we live in a country where
it's democratic then, and we can vote.
Mm-hmm.
The people, them have to come, the people, them have to learn to write, them have the power in their hands, they can make a change. Because if we put them there, we make a change in our life out here, and them not do it, we have to change them style and take them out of it and put and farm something, whether it's a body of government or a body of the citizen, to test them people there before they even go there and know so they're willing to do the work, but we put them there to do.
So,
and not see advantage that we after we put them there and go and like say them and then put themselves there. And then when they do now, then go sit on one side and do all what they want to do and sit down over there. So and laugh after we and go and like say we don't have no sense.
All right. So
we have the power to change them.
We do have the power.
We have the power to change them, but until the power comes to change them, the question that we ask
until
ourselves,
the time, because the power is here.
Yeah, the time comes to change. What do you think we can do? Do you think we have a parish council election that is due? We might get a general before. Are you saying we should apply greater scrutiny to the people who put themselves up to be our leaders?
Well, what me see going in Nairobi, you know, with the fortunate or unfortunate, some country they will take it serious in their hand,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want them to move,
Right there. You think Jamaica has that? Are we in that mood now? If you could read.
We need, but the spirit of Paul Bogan and Sam Sharp and all of them, man, they, cause everybody don't sit down and go and like say, nobody know want to come forward, And over the time, we have a man or a woman up front way. We can't do it without a leader.
We need leaders, yes.
With a human being or animal, we have somebody we are lead the pack,
The leader of the pack. True.
Yes. And we can't just go on like say we are Lego beast and everybody gone in a different direction. We need somebody who can lead it. That means that when you go to the river and the leader say, right now we are across the river and we are go over that ridge there, He know exactly what I'm doing, cause if you don't know what I'm doing, it makes sense. He lead we can cross the river, and when we go across the river, we can't cross the ridge, go over the ridge, We have to go turn back again. So we need a leader. We can't do it without a leader. That's the first thing. See, now we need conscious persons. You see, they have a machine they call Liard machine.
Lie detector.
Yes.
We want all of them to run through that,
That's an interesting idea.
As far as I see, crime pay the government, Yeah, man, crime pay the government. I mean, I like to know how much money they make a year time, financial year time. Crime.
My dear, if you just look at what the what they call it now, the assets, there's a department that deals with the seizure of assets that come out of proceeds of crime. They are talking about billions of dollars that they come in afterwards. They seize money, they seize real estate, they seize motor vehicles. So even if you just look at that small sector of how much crime pays the government, you will see. Of course, my suggestion to them is that all of that money that they are seizing and assets and so on, they should put it into a fund for the Constitutional Court to be able to award people real money for when the same government transgress.
Right. You cannot fix it for one people and you have the major people protect them and then the little quashy people them out there so they can't make a move because through them this situation so they spirit some people do some things they not even realize that they will do it and some realize and can't do no better.
Right.
And
yes.
then you take it and use the law.
Okay. All right.
Well said, sir.
Well
Thank you
said,
very much.
Well said. And I think most Jamaicans hear and understand what you are saying to us.
Yes.
Thanks very much for your call.
Sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tom.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning and welcome.
Morning, Neville.
How are you, brother? Neville?
Welcome back, Pastor. Morning to your valuable caller. Still have the magic cup waiting for the winners.
We don't have a lady yet. Lady Love.
Lady Love. All
right, so we know the female.
All right, and you can just give them my number, let them send it to my WhatsApp, and you get the cups in 2 weeks.
All right, so let's announce.
Carry it to the studio of Bless FM and they pick up the cup.
So let's announce it now. Lady Love, you know yourself. You called us just a short while ago concerning the music. can you just try and get back to the engineer or to the office so that you can receive Neville's number, because Pastor has selected you as the lady caller who is to receive the reward that Neville is funding, the magic cup.
Just send your best picture to my WhatsApp and let me put it on a magic cup.
And Malvern, would you please do the same? You know yourself. We require a good quality picture. So, Lady Love, a nice, good quality picture of you. Malvern, nice, good quality picture. Call the Best FM studio. You will receive the information that will allow you to send your picture to Neville, and the cup will be produced and delivered to you by whatever process Neville chooses to do it.
No, Pastor.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you first as a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bible,
mm-hmm.
why did Moses never reach the promised land?
Because he never have faith to believe that what God told him to be. Disobedience.
Oh, because
you know anybody in the Bible who reached the promised land by now?
If I've known Joshua.
Anybody in the Bible who Joshua reached the promised land?
Yeah, man, he led the people in the promised land. Yeah.
You see any political leader in Jamaica have the qualities of Joshua?
No.
So there's no political solution for Jamaica's problem. The government and the opposition is playing a game that is known as hide and seek. I mean, I tell the people them this. You see, my favorite talk show,
Go ahead.
is a show named Straight Up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a college for about a month now because I work in the field, in the daytime, between 10 and 2. A peer work me I do in a Ratbad City. And when my work done in Ratbad City 2 weeks' time, and I come back to the program and this program, I'm going to give you a full report of what I find in Ratbad City, from top to bottom.
All right, sir. We look forward to that. Thank you.
Action research.
People can understand what's going on in the deep-rooted belt of our inner city, where most of the murders and name is taking place.
All right.
But Morning Connection more and say this to the people then. You have climate change, which is causing a lot of havoc all over the world, and a lot of rivers drying up all over the world, especially all in Europe. And the government know about that because they got a climate summit all over the world. But they're hiding the information from the people because they don't want the people to know that. The government don't have no resource to protect them from climate change.
Well,
they
you know,
have none.
Yeah, but you know, never we can't blame the government for hiding information, you know, because all of the discussions about climate change are being carried out in a very public space. We don't need the government to advise us on it. Every Jamaican knows by now. Yes.
You know, one of the things that solved my domestic problem.
Which
that
one?
we used to quarrel in my house.
Your 2-bathroom problem?
That is one. I'm sure my spouse my pay slip every month.
Okay, you're talking about transparency.
That means she knows never now play no hide and seek.
Okay.
I'm going to get flagged for that, you know.
Yeah, but that's all right.
What all in a Portmore I talk about, when you reason with them on the corner, so me I live under woman government.
Oh, you're being transparent and open. So never. So what you're calling for is openness and transparency.
Then you mean all the government tell my governor and him hide information about climate change from my little granny. I'm a 79-year-old mother. I'm mad.
Okay.
And them know about the consequences of the digital revolution that it's going to cause a lot of people to get angry because the experts tell them that it's going to create what they call a lost generation.
Okay.
And you hear them tell them that lost generation can range from the baby who just born in the hospital to the oldest man on earth. So all me can get lost in the...
Maybe they're operating on the principle that ignorance is bliss, because the things which are not within our means to change, knowledge of it might create more stress than, and it seemed to be creating a great deal of stress for you, just in how you talk about it. there are some things.
Not only that, because you see me, Miss Minute, pastor, listeners, my father tell me, say, it's not where me live, it's how me live. So me have no expectation. When me go retire, when me reach 75, because me feel right now, they are 58. And me enjoy food, clothes, and shelter, and tender loving care. Okay, me get 10 doses of tender loving care every month at 58.
All right, Devil.
But me know say the older me get, the poorer me ever get into the system.
Okay.
And me know say me might end up retire in a jungle and a garden.
But that's all right.
But if Andrew Holness retire in a jungle, what you say?
Well, think so.
What you say?
Good for jungle. All right, we have another.
Mark Golden is the MP for jungle now. If you retire in a Arnett garden, what you would have said? Come 75, I walk up and down in a jungle, 2 hours, 2 old retired man. What you would have said?
That is good for the two of you. That's good for the two of you. Never. We're going to take another call because we have someone holding.
All
and
right.
I think we get the point.
I said it to the people, them.
All right, say it
There's
quickly for me, please.
There's no political solution to Jamaican problem. Because I don't speak them a play.
All right, sir.
All them do are use people and refuse people and promote who them think too big to fail. That's all they're doing.
We agree with you on that. It's not about politics. All right, brother.
No.
Let's take the other call.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah. All right. The people need leader. Who's willing to lead? Miss Lawrence or Mrs. Lawrence. Yeah. You're willing to lead?
I lead.
We're leading now.
You're leading now.
Yes.
That means you're part of your leading too.
Yes, man.
All right. When you say leader, what you mean? We want a one up front or one, I'm going to call it now. Because if you have many leaders, because right now are 2 leaders, because you are leader and you are lead.
Maybe we're leading different things.
So, when we say we need a leader, what do you mean? We need an individual who is there.
All right. So now, remember, you got to explain what you mean when you say we need a leader, because we may have, this might be one of those situations which I said to you, that people have different ideas.
Yeah. Most likely, I've never really tell people that we need a leader yet,
I heard you say it this morning. So what kind of leader?
No.
What is the need that you see for leadership? Leadership in what area? You were talking about change, and you said for the change to occur, we need a leader.
Well, I don't really mean say that, merely I say what people are saying.
Oh, well, what are you saying?
Me say we need to come together and have a one accord on what to do.
And then what? Then what? We take decision by committee.
Yeah. Because if you have a one leader, then all right. Say Mr. Wallace are the leader.
So here's what's happening, Wayne. The concept of leadership is not confined to personalities or individuals. We're talking about leadership in a broad context of principles, as Pastor just said, or just recognizing that things cannot occur in a just organic, free-flowing form where there is no discernible point of reference. So you're talking about leadership in terms of individuals and personality, and is there a man standing at the front of something? There are some processes that will automatically spit up a leader. What you need to do is engage the process and see what comes up, because you always find that there's going to be someone who's going to say, listen, enough of this. All right, here's what we're going to do. And you're going to have some people who are going to say, me like what you want to do, I will go there with you. But it don't necessarily mean that those persons who say, I will go with you, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're followers, because there are many leaders in their own right will come to agreement on something that is somebody else's idea because it resonates well with their agenda. It's an interesting thing to understand sovereignty of the individual, meaning you control yourself and you take decisions for yourself and you're not subject to another man's thoughts and processes. and at the same time recognize that sovereign individuals exist and operate in a sovereign nation which has a leader.
You say at 9 o'clock now, it's a man of time.
Yes. It's time for a break. Yeah.
Why I ask this thing still, so to get a better clarity when people talk about leader.
Yeah, and that's why I'm going into it, because when you operate in a democracy, you are empowering persons to be autonomous and to be sovereign in the leadership of their lives and activities. But you are empowering them in a context where, out of this multitude of empowered individuals, a one body and a consensus can emerge under the leadership of somebody who you, in your freedom to choose, say, you know what, let that man run things.
Embodies the values I need.
Yeah, at which point, that's why we talk about servant leaders, at which time that leader needs to know he's a servant
of the people, and he embodies all the values that the people see that are important to them as a collective in terms of moving forward.
All right, then.
Let's take the break, yes.
First, to my
a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. Hurricanes can happen, so be prepared.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, away I do I take taxi start?
Jano, I want to tell you, say, at 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, senior.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling, cause trust me.
Waiters, Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, my lady.
Good morning.
Hello, my friend. How are you today?
Morning, Pastor. Well, me check for you yesterday, man. But you say you're out of the weather, so me put up some good prayer for you.
Aye, man. It work. Back again. Yeah. Strong and fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, man. The recent poll which shows the lack of confidence that the majority of people in Jamaica have in the police.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a surprise to me personally,
No.
Not to anybody who's really following it.
Right, and the harm too is 26% of the people have no confidence in the army, and 40% have less confidence in the army,
Little.
Little confident. I wonder if we're taking these polls seriously and realizing what is happening in this country. Because listen, I spoke about it more than one occasion. The overexposure of the army. You know. It's only a matter of time before the army
is right down there with the police.
It's right down with the police force, you know.
Yeah. But you have sounding the alarm because remember, you even raised a question on this program. Why is it that the army is getting so much resources and we're not putting any resources to the police?
Yes. And you see, it's one of the things, you know. I think we need a big mirror in this country, you know. A big mirror. And I would like to see a symbolic gesture. Every Jamaican go to that big mirror and look in that mirror and see what is coming back at them, you know. We are the ones that are producing this police, you know. We are the ones that are producing these prime ministers and these government ministers. So we need to take a greater look at the type of society that we have, you know. That we the people have, you know. So sometimes we talk about leaders and this and that and that. It comes to me. It comes right back to us, you know. A couple of years ago, I read in an article in the Gleaner written by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Chester Burgess, and it titled the article "Jamaica on the Verge of Anarchy." And I'm looking carefully that we know the far from that anarchy that he spoke about now. About 30 years in right that article, you know. I'd love for the Gleaner to reproduce that article right now.
30 years ago?
Over 30 years ago, he wrote that article.
Wow.
Jamaica on the verge of anarchy. And so we see Jamaica run right now, you know, it's not far-fetched from being it's very close to anarchy.
The verge is a very big place, it seems.
Yeah. Because what is going on in this country, you know, the lack of leadership, lack of accountability, you know, people not taking account for their actions. Leaders with not able to inspire the people to do what is right from what is wrong. We are in serious trouble. And we're not when you're not acknowledging, you know, you can have a problem, but when you're not acknowledging the problem that you have, you can't find a solution, you know. Mm-hmm. So all the people talk where we are talking and the people are talking that we need to acknowledge that the country is in serious problem. Mm-hmm. Jamaica is in serious. We can't look at the couple little athletes and we go down a place that run good and win some gold medal and everybody jump up and then we still have this idea about this is a great country where we are great people. If we were as great as we claim to be, this country would be a first world country. Mm. This country would be a first world country because we have the resources and the people in terms of talent. The people have it.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the talent is misplaced.
Yeah, you know, as I agree with you, even as we are looking to our next caller, Enlighten, the fact is, I like the concept of the mirror, because when we begin to look at ourselves as Minute has been challenging us to take responsibility, we have to first take responsibility, look in the mirror, take responsibility, and then action. Because when you look at an organization and you want to do a strategic intervention that's going to bring about real organizational change, you have to determine what the problem is. You have to do the right analysis to say this is the real problem, and then we can move forward. So we thank you for your input on it. Let's look at the man in the mirror and let us begin to acknowledge that we are the problem, because as you have said, we produce the leaders. So everything we have from us. All right, thank you very much.
All
right, thank you. Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Miss Minute.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Welcome back, Pastor. Okay, welcome back. I don't know if it's Rusty, but he Rusty touch a point. You will never make and meet the Pastor. No, Pastor. Firstly, How is it that 21st century we have policemen and policeman? I was saying look out of your teeth now, and we don't hear nobody apart from no leader say no, we past this 70s stage already. How come?
Is that a recent incident?
It came on TV last night over the bus park, and then these little backward people are talking about, the monitor's not working, and we're about 20, so we waste money for the monitor. What happened to this country? Oh, so backward. And we're talking about we have bright people. They are saying the monitors at the bus park that bill how much is not working. Explain that to a pastor, Miss Minute. You people are bright people. And we are paying leaders how much, give them how much benefit, how much money.
Wow.
Look out the youth team. A youth, it's one of the youth that shake it 2 times, so how reach this, so, and we are talking about first world country. What really happened? See that? You are driving on past, you're right. When I'm away, people fix road like 12 in the hours. You know who chose to fix road? In the peak hours. And you build up this traffic and you multiply how much time we waste. We are fixed road 12 o'clock in the day. We are fixed road in our peak hours. And we have leaders that go to this highly universal that we're supposed to be thinker. And we are talking about first world country. We pick up the road and we just left it. Boom, you can't drop an part two how much money. But where will this back on this come from? See there, we're not proactive. Yeah, they take some police over Portmore to start enlightening the bush road. I mean, I drive and I say, the trees pass on this minute, I'm alive. And literally I come out of the road. There's no longer town in town. It's country.
Yes.
Bushes and rap. So much I can go out past street. You get the guys that make them work so them have no time to climb the bushes, just take over the place, the filthiness. I would just have people like it is business as usual. And I talk about intelligent that we live in Norfolk and Cherokee and them crap. Until you get these people to start wallowing in a squalor like everybody, it will change. That makes sense a waste of time. It will change.
Has to change. Has to change.
Point well made, sir.
And we can change it. We can change it. We can change it.
The police commissioner say anything. The deputy prime minister can't speak English anyway. The prime minister not saying nothing, and this educated professor not seeing the filth in Jamaica. Who is a vanguard for the people? Apart from Minute and Pastor, Mota and Jerry and Miguel. You go to the supermarket, them a short change you with the sausage. You buy the toothpaste minute. When you squeeze the toothpaste, how much money? I pay here. We pay to protect the people them who do not have it. And we are talking about crime. These are things that great crime. We're short changing the people them. And it's only one set of people. It's really benefiting from this thing. And one set of people are dead. Who is going to change it? Jesus Christ? So we find Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ makes him give us brain. He give us eyes and give us food.
Give us the power to take it over. We agree with you.
The place far side, filthy, dirty, dirty. Look at me, I'm going to live down my stomach. See the place dirty, the bushes. I go in the tree, I scrape up a car, the patrol, I lick out your car. Everybody, I give black people lick left, right, and center.
And nobody to say halt. Yeah, somebody not saying halt. And we.
So where is this man from National Solid Waste? Where how much money can't give account for just died on? So where is this man from? National Work Agent.
It's a garden.
If we give up a road, we're supposed to have the man them right to pass.
Yeah.
Because we are trying to develop the country to fix the thing. Look for the place. The thing sense.
Yeah.
The mentality we have the people when we talk about election. I would mean people good.
Yeah.
No, Pastor. No, I would proud a champion. I would proud a immaculate. I would proud a Casey.
No, we have to do better than that.
Develop us. Not an individual for growing a talk, but I am intelligent. How does that develop this country so that my grandchildren are the future generation can say, yes, this is Minute, Pastor, Jerry did a well done job. How is that going to help us when this country just in squalor, people just appear like it is silence night?
Okay. All right. Thanks. Another caller. So thanks for your concerns. We agree with you. There are some simple things we can do that can bring about change. So the simple things well, and we bring about the bigger change we need. Thank you. Have a good day, brother. Blessings. Yeah, man.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning, caller. You know, even as we wait the caller, there are simple things we can do that can bring about a change, you know. And we're missing it. We are missing it. We are focusing on the big ticket, the small ticket item.
Good morning, caller.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fear to find. You say you're the pastor, Mr. Percy.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Well, my go on now.
Yeah, go on. I'm glad that you're going on. Bless God.
The bird still a blow, isn't it?
Wonderful.
But you ask you something, is it?
Yes, my brother.
Why answer me?
Well, I'll try to.
You try to. Well, I'm going to go ahead.
Yes,
do you
go ahead.
believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible, everything in the Bible?
Yes, I believe it inspired word of God to direct us in this time and generation with a lot of principles. Yes, sir.
You believe in the Bible?
Yes, sir, I do.
From one end to the other?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You don't?
So, of course I do. I would ask that question.
Oh.
Okay. All right, then.
You asked him, so I ask you.
Like how you believe in the Bible from one end to the other.
Yes, sir.
I think you should really look back all the things that are happening from way back until now.
Yes.
Things that happening that might be a scratch here that time and say, but all them things happen. You understand? You even question yourself and I wonder.
Yes, sir.
Then again,
do that all the times. Yeah, man.
You reflect back to the Bible.
Yes.
So me I say, you know, think all of what happened right now. A fulfillment of time.
It's fulfillment of prophecy. We're seeing a lot of it unfolding right in front of our very eyes, my brother.
Yeah, fulfillment of prophecy. And who is the prophecy? Where did that come from?
The prophetic word spoken by different prophets at different times that point to end times. So a lot of us believe that we are in the end of the end times.
The prophets speak what they hear from God. That is
what they hear from God.
That's the short answer.
Okay, so you remember this word that I think it is in the Bible. I don't know. I'm not a Bible man.
Say it now. Let me see if we can confer with you or say. What you saying?
This word, I remember this word, that the Almighty God said, before one of his words pass away, heaven and earth shall pass. Do you believe that?
Speaking to he said it. Those are his words. He says, my word is so certain and so true that it's more likely that the earth that I have created will pass away than that my word will fail.
Then what are we seeing in our eyes now?
Fulfillment of the word spoken.
Okay, thank you very much. I don't think I want to say anything more than that. Have a nice day.
All right, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning to you, Mr. Minette. Good morning to you, Pastor. Good morning, Mr. Lawrence. Good morning, Lloyd, and all those who's in the studio. Good morning, Jamaica. Good morning, world.
Yes, sir.
Miss Minette, can I say something? Pastor, when a man call one time, you see, and you give him a good talk, and him call a second time, you know, just limit the second call, you know, because him get a talk already. All right, now we move on.
Yes.
Yes, all right.
Just a minute.
Yes.
me been at them program too long for not doing them heads up, because remember, people will come and try to discharge the little program. I don't want that.
Give me the heads up, man. I take it with grace.
Yeah, I do that from time to time. Remember, I gave disclaimer and all and things. What happened this minute?
Yes.
The Flo called me.
Yes.
And this is what Flo is telling me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, read the cell phone, one bag of crap. When left data on and data.
So they start to take you back to the same things.
Yeah. That's what she's doing. Anyway, she go up on the land phone now and she go up on migration. Let me tell you about migration now.
Migration?
Yeah, migration part stuff. Migration is moving from the system that I was on to a new system. And let me tell you about the old system. The old system, when light gone, you have your phone saying you can make any amount of calls. When the new system carry a modem, them have to come install it in your house. And when light gone, your phone gone down.
And there's no electricity.
Repeat?
When there's no electricity.
No, when there's no electricity, you do have in a phone. Now, this is the new system that they're trying to put everybody on. You see, because I get to understand. No, this is not what you, this is a disclaimer, not you are part of it. This is where I get to understand that when they try to mess up with the line them and try to get you to go on the new system. You see the new system, Ms. Minette? You start at $3,000. And sometimes you get out some bills for $5,000-$6,000.
I know. I have one with the other carrier where it's supposed to be $6,500 and I get $17,000 bills.
Yeah,
and when I call them, they can't explain it either. But you know what? I consistently pay the amount for which I entered into a contract. That's what I do.
Just like me now, Miss Minute. I do have a phone, and they show me that I have to pay my bill.
All right, so
$2,950 to keep my line. Now the girl is telling me that she's recommending some migration. I said, Miss, I am not interested in you now, the migration, because I'm going to come install a modem. I am an electrical engineer now. I know about these things. And when I'm install the modem, and after a while, you know what time them have to come change the modem out. I want lady out because the modem not good. Them not a new modem. A recycled modem them are used coming in your house. You as a new customer, them put it in and a couple times it broke down. Them come back and them carry another one and it broke down. And that is what they continue doing. Why? Why in God's earth? Mr. Paulwell, I want to ask you this question. Why did you merge Flow and Lime together? It was for a better system or a worse system?
No, it's not team merge. They bought out. It was a takeover.
Pastor, I did it from Beam, I did it from Cable and Wireless, I did it from Beam Mobile, I did it from Lime. I come to Flow now fast, Pastor. And let me tell you this, Pastor. Right now, the worst time you want to see. Out of phone. I know what you're telling me now. I must keep paying the bill and they will compensate.
So the person called you as a result of our, I'm going to say,
yes, and a result of you
raising it, right?
Yes, yeah, and all of that.
And the result so far is to tell you to keep paying the bill. It was not to assist you with the complaint. It was
it was to tell me that I must do the migration. They are going to put me up for migration. The land phone took for migration. They're going to do migration, and then the money. I know about the migration.
Right, and you know you can't resist that. You know you can't resist it.
The migration?
Yes.
Why? Why I can't resist it?
Upgrade
because a commercial enterprise that offers service takes a decision on how they're configuring their service. It's not you can choose to change and take a different carrier, and you can port your number to the new carrier, but you can't tell them that they're not to reconfigure the service or upgrade their network.
All right, Mr. Minute. But it's not me alone.
So,
it's
but
not me alone.
The reason
a couple elders
absolutely no problem with that. We're in a free market economy where a private sector entity is making a change in its business arrangements. The only issue is whether or not those changes are occurring in a space where the regulator can set the procedure and determine how it's to be done. So you end up with either the Fair Trading Commission or the Consumer Affairs or the Office of Utilities Regulation.
Yeah, well, let me just say something.
Yeah.
It's time and time again, I listen to another station. I listen to 3 stations in the day.
Yes.
And let me tell you this. I hear people come on it and a ball. How them start out and to where they end.
Yes. So maybe it is a situation for the regulator, and you are right now in that place where you have the attention of both the regulator and both the service provider, and you have me too, and I can tell you that there are very few people who know the sector and what you're going through and how it can be addressed better than I do. But we don't have to do all of it on air.
As far as I'm concerned, and I'm looking at, I don't want to hold up the line too now. They are saying to me that it's like she's saying to me, she's trying to tell me that I won't get no redress and my credit were gone because I'm left leave phone on and all that, and they are now recommending for migration. And can I tell you something?
Well, I don't know if she has the final word on whether you get redress, because if what she's saying to you does not tally with the facts as you know them, then it means you have to go further up the line. I took you further up the line.
No, Miss Minute. Yes. I just highlighting the Jamaican folk. I'm not going to stop here now.
Oh, okay.
You don't know me. This minute, you don't know me.
We're going to push.
We're
going to push.
Me far, but never easy. Let me tell you, Pastor. I'm not going to stop yourself.
Fortis.
Stop yourself.
And if more, and my brother, if more people like you say what we're getting, all right, and more people come together, then they will listen.
That's what I'm saying to you. I have elders in my community.
I
have 225 houses in my community. I am an upstanding person in my community.
So you're joining now.
I will for them, Pastor, not going for this modern thing, this new thing where them are going, because
they're not migrating.
Migration where them are dealing, because the Pastor, when light gone, when electricity gone, your phone, you do have no phone.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of them have the emergency. They are trying to, let me tell you something, Pastor. If you don't sit down for nothing, you're going to stand up for something, yeah?
All right, that is true. I agree with you. Time
Pastor,
come.
let me tell you this. It's not going to stop yourself. It's not going to stop yourself. And all I'm credit them with them take away, and them feel so them are push things down my throat, and I tell them about me use it, and I know I'm not use it, Pastor. Let me tell you, Pastor, I fear the Lord. I fear God.
That's
I am
important
a person who fear God. Let me tell you this. I know God. God works for me. I don't want nobody to tell me about God.
You know it for yourself.
God for myself.
Yeah, man.
Me improve himself to me. And the other day after my injury, I could have not been here. But he talked to me. The Holy Spirit talked to me and showed me things. But I tried to be tested and tried. Let me tell you this. It now go where they want it. It's not gonna go how they want it. And these people like Mr. Morgan and the young Turks them who come out with just tell people all kind of things with them think it's not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
You understand? And new and different. I want to know what let me tell you something. Jamaica on a feel post of things similar. On a feel post of things similar. Jamaica should have got on knee. A woman who bring Jamaica to where it is. On a feel all the PMP feel post of things similar because of she a female on a fight against her and all that. Every man must get pay according to them work. Let me tell you, Miss Lawrence.
Well, you heard me say it earlier. The honor you give is the honor you get. That is a kingdom principle.
We can't tell you this. Mm-hmm. When the PMP was on its face, it was Portia Miller who stand up. And I'm ask me ask nobody. Nobody can't tell me about this. I tell you. When Michael,
We know the story. We know the story.
So. Have a good morning.
All right, then.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, it just.
Anyway, I'm with you in the struggle.
Yeah, thanks. We just want to recognize somebody from Grenada is checking in.
Oh yes, Prince Rissa. Big up, says. Thank you for coming on the program. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, I'm blessed.
Oh, we're well, sir. Thank you.
We're blessed and loved.
Nothing do a lot around here, man.
African. And we're on to the break, African. So you're going to hold on right on the break as you get through.
That's what I endure more.
Well,
all right, then.
Yes.
So hold on.
Do your thing, man.
All right, good.
A difference you can hear, a difference you can feel.
Best FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
People, are you listening?
If you choose to remain at home after an evacuation order has been issued, you do so at your own risk.
Get down! Heed the warning.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bossy, away, I do I take taxi start.
Jano, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, waste all that time I shop around and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040 or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Yeah, try calling, cause trust me.
Waiters Auto Spares and Repairs, good afternoon.
What a relief.
1, 2, 3, let's go!
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back, African. Go ahead and speak. Listening to you, my brother.
Hello, I'm blessed.
Yes, go ahead, African.
You know, sir, some bread for me there,
Aye. That's a good thing with Jamaica, and you can walk out of your backyard and pick ackee or something. And it is one of the blessings from the Father on our land. Yeah.
And that's the people that have put in the tree, them.
Yeah, true.
And make sure the vineyard up,
Right. And I remember the vineyard, in the 70s, my brother, who was a Rasta man, left out of the house and said, I'm going to go plant up the vineyard. So him and a group of brethren planted up the vineyard, and it was very fruitful, so it bring back memories for me. So each one of us as Jamaican have to do that, plant up the vineyard to feed ourselves.
Well, the vineyard bring a lot of consciousness to the mind,
True.
And make you have some extra life,
True.
Yes, life begins somewhere,
That's so true.
I know the earth. All things come from the earth, Reverend.
True. Yeah, man. Everything come from the earth. That's why I give it.
So we are going to give thanks to it and put in more that it can multiply,
Yep.
Here the matter about food shortage all over the world,
Mm-hmm.
And water shortage,
Mm-hmm.
I notice we down here and I don't hear much about our water.
Yeah.
I hear about mining.
Ah. That is why this thing at the cockpit that gives us 40% of our water. We have to be so careful and think about the future of the country.
Yes, when we talk about my brethren, what the reason upon these things, Reverend?
Yeah. Because one of the things we have to do, African, we can't just think about the present. We have to think about the future. We have to think about the children. Because everybody is about immediate fulfillment. We want it now. Give it to me now. Some people call it the microwave generation. They want it now. They don't think about the consequences and the sustainability of their actions long term. That's why we have to be so careful when we are bringing about the real change in our country.
Yes, it's named reservoir, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Reserve.
Aye. Yeah.
We have to start dealing with these things now, you know, Reverend.
Mm-hmm.
Majority of our African people in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
How much ribbon cut for them?
Few.
I don't know any, no, Reverend.
Yeah.
And groundbreaking. How much African the groundbreaking break for?
They're being buried. You tell me. Yeah.
Reverend, everything where them are the people in Jamaica is to make them erupt, you know.
Mm.
And see them take a poll upon the army and the police.
Mm-hmm.
And hear what the people them say about them.
Yeah. It must be frightening to the police and to the soldier them.
They not take none from the government, them, you know.
Yeah.
So they must know if them take one from the government, what the people them that's about them, you know, Reverend.
Yeah. That's interesting in African. We have to examine that. Is there a poll?
They've been releasing the results piece by piece, so it may be that there's more to come.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Miss Minety.
Yes, my brother.
65% of people never vote.
Thank you,
we need to get those people together.
Yeah, I think it's 79, but you're right. It's a high percentage. Well, they need to step up. I mean, we can talk about getting them together, but they need to wake up, and that's a part of what we're doing. Just sounding the alarm, ringing the bell, walking through the streets. Wake up, wake up, wake up, because before you know it, what they say, you think it's peace and safety, and then it's sudden destruction.
My father used to say that.
Yeah, what we're seeing with the lack of confidence means that in the event of a noisy wake up, a noisy awakening, it's not going to be pretty because the people are going to be in confrontation with law enforcement because we don't trust them. That means when they say something, when they say go left, we are going to go right. That's all of the signals, you know, that there is going to be conflict because if you trust them, then when they give an order, you would obey. But right now, we're seeing a direct confrontation between citizens and those who are meant to keep order.
But Miss Minety.
Yes.
When the right time coming on, we're intelligent in Miss Minety. We are some of the most intelligent people.
I share that view. I'm not one who think that the silence means we're idiots and we don't see what's going on.
What you're talking about? We're very intelligent, man. We are take over. We're not getting an independence yet in Miss Minety. At 60 years now, them they are celebrate and we're not getting none yet, you know.
All right, my brother, we hear you. And it's coming. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
We have another caller. Yes, sir.
It's good to be here, yeah?
All right, right.
Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
God bless your love to all of you.
To you too, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm saying, you never say, the government really don't announce it, the report.
He says he's not keeping the people informed on the dangers of climate change.
But the government going to agree because every time even a while ago here, you know, play a
advertising.
Yes, that's why. And I was saying to him that the truth is, it's the discussions are taking place in the open space. If you want to learn about it, if you're learning about anything at all, you must hear that this thing is happening. I think part of what his concern was, though, is that the things we need to do to adapt, to change, and to be better prepared. He's saying that the government not expending the resources, not telling people what it is, what the true state of affairs is. I think that's part of what he was saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying when the thing happen, the government going to tell you a long time because the advertisement say eat the warning, get out.
Yes.
And when we come, we mash down place and tear down them thing. That's what the government say, you know.
Well, one of the other things too.
And tear down place and so on so. But so at them way them are warning, but them not really set the things that we not get enough flood out. So I wonder if them set some place and them know which part of flood out when the flooding starts. Because so them are dig around there so and pick up around there so and all of them things there.
Yeah.
Them supposed to know which part of flood out.
And tell the people them and begin to move the people them.
Yeah, so them supposed to set the place where them know how flood out and tell them say, yes, I have flood out. And make the people them know. Now I wait till when them have flood out tomorrow say, come out now. How would you tell them now? You know, see, when them can't move.
Yeah. So I think it's more knowing the information, but empowering the people the information that them can take action. And that's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
I think that's what Neville was talking about too, I think.
Them do it already, you know, because them I don't quite remember the exact thing what happened. But when the people them rebel, them say, will you tell them already say the same thing, same flooding. When you tell them already so enough to come out, enough to build a place in a low line here and thing. And them same one build the house and I sell we in a disaster place.
Yeah.
You know see? So when them make we live in now and disaster come, the motel will come out. And them set it so.
Yeah. And you know another thing is if you are old enough as I am, you'll remember some places. You see one man moved there, then another man moved there, and then it becomes a community.
Yeah.
And then them never do anything to stop it. Now them say you can't do this, so you need to move.
Yeah.
And people have built their lives. If from the first man come, government it say no. You can't go there, so and do the right thing. If you need land, let us give you proper land and set out a community that people can live in the community. So you ask yourself, are they really interested at all in terms of the things they are saying now, or is just because they're getting pressure from quarters to deal with the problem?
That is what I'm saying, Pastor.
Yeah.
So if you right now we talk about time and time. You know, time. The time come and we make it pass.
Yeah.
You're supposed to move all the people and move them out. I tell them already, you know. Move them out. Because them we can where we do. We'll make them overcome and what.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, Tone Boat.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't know if I hear good what the caller was saying because I joined on the show late. I heard a caller say Jamaica failed Portia on the PMP.
Yes.
PLR. That's what he said?
That's what he said. And he explained somewhat too.
I just want to make 2 points and then I gone. I can pick it up from here or maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to point out to him that Jamaica don't feel Portia Simpson Miller. Portia Simpson Miller is more feel Jamaica. Because what the people them was hoping for, she never did it. And first of all, a country cannot feel or what put her ahead of Prime Minister for the country. right? She go into power. She promised a lot of things, just as what Prime Minister, the politician need to do.
Yes.
But she said she come from the bowel of the ghetto. And I never expect her to do that, what she do, because she go in there, she mash up the economy. She promised house, she never do it. And she could at least build a lot of house to the poor class of people them, and she never did it. Right? She never did it. When I was a little boy, out of 3 Mile away, you know, a coal lane name out there where I schemed the bill. Up to now, those boats never finished bill under fear watch.
All right. What's the second point?
The second point now. He said the party failure, the PMP don't fail Portia. No, the party supposed to fail her when they make her the head. They don't fail her. She fail the party. In the end, now when they lose, they just fight and want her out. They don't fail her.
All right.
You understand?
I understand your point.
That's in them damn head.
Aye.
All right. Okay. All right, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, man,
I love that basic point he made. All right, my friend. Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I like the basic point he made, that if the country elects you and put you in that position to lead, then the country has honored you. Your time to perform. But, all right, we've come to the end, 9:45 of taking calls. Thank you all very much. Patrick Howell, you have challenged me. I rise to on air. We do appreciate that it is a sacrifice for you to make the phone calls and to spend the time and so on. We certainly are encouraged by your participation, and we trust that others who are listening can, in all the talk that goes on, begin to see a clear path to peaceful change, to bring into being the things that they need. Yeah, peaceful change. No, it don't mean that the change is not going to be uncomfortable and sometimes very, very harsh for some. But you know there can be peace in a storm. It all depends on the mindset that you have and the way you go about doing it. You don't lose control. You don't lose a sight of the purpose. If tough decisions are to be taken, you can take them with grace and with the right attitude of righteousness. And we bring about the change that we need. It is possible.
It is very, very possible. And as you close, Minetti, as African calls you, let's take responsibility. We can become the change. And again, the issue of our long-term security, our food security in terms of water is back on the agenda. We haven't heard anything recently in terms of cockpit country, but we want to continue to put that out there. 40% of our water comes from cockpit country. And so we'll take responsibility. We'll begin to act in a peaceful manner and begin to bring about the change we want to see.
Patrick Howell says, if we were to take a tour of the cockpit country, starting from Duncan's, go through Jacksontown, Clarkstown, Alps, Albertown, Troy, Noisy River, Oxford, Mile Gully, and end at Williams Field, your views will be changed, he said. It's worth, well, we are planning our outdoor broadcasts, and this might be an interesting journey. It's not a one-day journey, though.
I know the places I've been.
We would probably have to. Yeah, but it's how we would set it up. I would love to turn a spotlight, meaning have a camera on some of these things that, to some people, it's just words. Nobody has a picture of what's going on, so that indeed perspectives could shift, and we would become a lot more effective in defending our environment and the
future. Talking about future and sustainability.
Yeah, for the children. All right, thank you all.
We have 2 songs, Yes. Producer for 2 songs.
Oh, by the way, have you found the verse of Lady Love's song?
No, I don't think.
No sign of it, but you one have to. All right, let's go. Have a good day, everyone.
One of them is